Fáilte go dtí Semple Stadium. You're welcome to Semple Stadium in Thurles for this eagerly awaited clash between Limerick and Tip, both with a point to prove. And with me here now is the very delectable Liz Howard. Liz, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much, and you're very welcome to Thurles. I'm sure you're going to spot the talent today with this video.
Thank you. There's no need for me after that introduction of yourself to let the viewers know that you're the PRO for the hurling in Tipperary. But of course, you spent most of your life in Clare, didn't you?
Well, I spent some of my earlier years in Clare, but I was born in Tip, and then we moved to Fecal, and I think that made me the good Tip woman I am. There's nothing like opposition for bringing out the best in somebody, but my memories of Clare and of Fecal are very warm memories, and indeed we followed the Fecal hurling team for many years, and they got to a county final while we were there.
Well, I suppose fellas like Ger Loughnane and the Duke, Seamus Jurek, there must have been only, it is very difficult to say this diplomatically, but I'm amazed that they let you off the hook. You're still unmarried.
Well, I don't think any husband will put up with a woman like me in the GA, but talking about Ger Loughnane and Seamus Jurek, we grew up with them, and particularly Seamus. I have great memories of him with his little pair of Wellingtons and he inside the goals, and even at that very small age he was one tremendous hurler with a great spirit and a great will to win. And
tell me, had he an eye for the birds that time, Liz?
He was a bit too small.
Well, we just had a hiccup there with the power, Liz. But anyhow, this game was to be played last Sunday. I was amazed that Cusack Park in Ennis was very playable and Semple Stadium in Thurles was not.
Well, I suppose you might have had less rain than we had here in Thurles, but the pitches, as all the pitches in Ireland that I saw last weekend, were in a bad state. I still think Thurles is the best pitch in Ireland.
Well, we're looking forward more particularly to next Sunday, and if Tipperary are our opponents, the game will be in Páirc Quaid. And I just learned that on Thursday night they decided that the Munster Championship game, should Tipperary overcome Carey, will be in Killarney. How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't mind, and I think perhaps if we look ahead, seeing that the Munster final might well be in Killarney, that it's better for our lads to get a run on the pitch beforehand.
You'd be a bit confident now.
Well, we're confident today. We have put in the work, we've got out of Division 2, and I think the fact that Cork were beaten by Waterford also boosts our chances. And if you look at the Limerick team today, the forwards, with the exception of Paddy Kelly, to me anyhow, are untried. I have great regard for Limerick hurling, having a Limerick father, but I think today we're going to have the edge, and if we do, we look forward to meeting Clare next Sunday.
Well, your former sparring partner on television, Eamonn Cregan, is looking after Limerick. They couldn't be in more capable hands, I would imagine.
No, they couldn't be in more capable hands. He knows a lot about the game, and also he's a tremendous will to win. But so has Babs. To me, Babs is a winner all the way.
Well, I'll tell you, if the All-Star selectors wanted any goalkeepers tested, they couldn't bring in two better men than Babs and Cregan to do it.
They really couldn't. I agree with you.
Well,
and could I give a message to my friends in Clare? I enjoyed living over there, and I hope someday you make the breakthrough, but not at our expense.
And finally, tell me, Liz, what were you saying that you used to call the Duke as a young fella?
Well, we never called him anything except Shami Jurek.
Shami. Liz, thank you very much. I hope that maybe we might be having a word next Sunday as well.
Thank you very much, Aidan. Lovely talking to you.
Thank you. And now the Tipperary team, led by their captain, Borrisolee's Richard Stakelum, wearing number 2 out in the field. And down there now, you're looking at number 7, that's Bobby Ryan, their all-star left half-back. Bobby Ryan, a clubmate of Richard Stakelum's with Borrisolee, and he's joined today happily by that stylist supreme, number 10, Nicholas English. Nicholas English, bedeviled by injury for so long, he's regarded as one of the modern-day hurling artists, and he's out there lining out with an unchanged Tipperary team. I'll quickly run through their line-out as they're out there with the battery of photographers trying to get their memorabilia. Now, in goal is Tony Shepherd. The full-back line on the right is Richard Stakelum, the captain. Full-back Conor O'Donovan, and left full-back Seamus Gibson. The half-line on the right, Pat Fitzgerald. Centre half-back Jerry Stapleton, and on the left is Bobby Ryan. Centre field, Philip Kennedy and Colm Bonner. The half-forwards on the right is Nicholas English. In the centre is Michael Doyle, and on the left is Michael Scully. The full-forward line, wearing number 13, is John Quinn. Full forward, Donie O'Connell, and left full forward, the footballer come hurler, Liam Stokes. The Tipperary team having their picture taken, the pre-match photograph. And just down under us now, the famous duo down there, Babs Keating with his hand on the hurley, and Theo English facing him. They're both talking to the linesman there, and now they're joined by another of yesteryear's greats, Donie Nealon, and what a trio those three are. Theo English, Donie Nealon and Babs Keating. They're now charged with looking after the fortunes of the Tipperary senior hurling team. They have commanded great respect, and the panel is responding to them with 100% attendance. They're looking forward to a clear-cut victory today and to march on to what they claim is rightly their position at the top of the hurling tree. To the field, the referee, Willie Horgan, looking anxiously towards the dressing room. Tipper out for the last 5 minutes. We still await the arrival of the Limerick 15. No change on either side, except that Ger Hegarty is missing from the substitutes for Limerick. And now out come the Limerick team, led by their captain in left half-back, Pat Kramer. It would appear that he's skippering the team. And back there today in his customary full-back position is the burly Leonard Enright, the Patrick's Well man, a prince among full-backs to use the modern ideology. Another man like Nicholas English that has been bedeviled by injury, but there he is in his customary number 3, and we're looking forward to the sweeping clearances from the edge of the parallelogram by this noted full-back, Leonard Enright. And Limerick, of course, will be expecting a lot from this man, their number 13, Paddy Kelly, the sharpshooter from Kilmallock. Paddy Kelly in the unaccustomed position of corner forward. He usually operates on the wing. He's a champion sprinter of yore, and if Paddy Kelly is on song, the tunes will be whistled up on the scoreboard to the detriment of Tipperary. Limerick expecting a lot from Paddy Kelly today. Before the game I spoke with Eamonn Cregan. He said that they were a young, inexperienced side. He was more hopeful than confident. He's looking more towards the championship. Tim Crowe chirped in. Tim, well-known 6 Mile Bridge man, Tim chipped in, and with his affection for the racing game, he said that in racing terms the ground wouldn't suit them. They wouldn't go in the soft. The next hour and 10 minutes or so will tell us the truth of that statement as Limerick line up for the pre-match photograph. All in readiness now. The game should be underway within a couple of minutes. And now I'll avail of this opportunity to give you the Limerick line out. In goal is Tommy Quaid. The full-back line on the right is Peter O'Connor, full-back Leonard Enright, and left full-back Donald Barry. The half-line on the right, Liam O'Donoghue. In the centre is Noel Leonard, and on the left is Pat Kramer. Middle of the field is Jimmy Carroll and Anthony Carmody. The half-forwards on the right, Pat Carey, centre-forward Terry Kenny, and left half Michael Ryan. The full-forward line, Paddy Kelly in the right. Full forward Michael Quaid, and top of the left is Gary Kirby, as we stand now to attention for our en reveal. The midfielders shaking hands. Referee Willie Horgan looks at his watch. Any moment now this game should be underway. The winners will play Clare next Sunday. If it's Tipperary, the game will be in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. If it's Limerick, the game will be in Semple Stadium here in Thurles. The crowd anxiously awaiting now. Jimmy Carroll and Anthony Carmody, Philip Kennedy and Colm Bonner. And the throw-in and the first to break away, Limerick, tipped on by Anthony Carmody, cleared out by Jerry Stapleton, down to the left half forward. That's Michael Scully, he gets it in further, and here's a chance for Donie O'Connell. He gets inside Leonard Enright. He takes a shot, and it's gone to the right and wide, and Donie O'Connell, a noted ball getter, but also noted that at times his accuracy, his finish is not as good as his work leading up to it. He got that ball, rounded Leonard Enright rather easily. 30 seconds into the opening half, the first puck out of the afternoon for Limerick's custodian, Tommy Quaid. He pucks it straight down the middle. Going for it, Terry Kenny. It's blocked out a little bit by Jerry Stapleton. Far enough to reach Philip Kennedy. He shortens the grip and he's hurling left-handed. Gets it down where it's doubled on in there by Liam Stokes. He gets it over to the right corner. Coming in now. It's scooped out a little bit by Pat Kramer, and coming over is Donald Barry. He gets up the ball and good clearance down here to Colin Bonner in the middle of the field. The number 9 with the white helmet for Tipperary, careering through, hand passes the ball into the centre, into Donie O'Connell, well cut away by Leonard Enright. That's the best cheer of the afternoon, the far side of the field. And it's brought along the ground by Philip Kennedy, down the right wing, a foul on right half forward, Nicholas English, a free into Tipperary, the first such award. Michael Scully, I saw this fella play wonderfully well for Tipperary in an under-21 final against Clare here a couple of years ago. He's very accurate from these situations. This is his first award. He strikes it, makes no mistake. Michael Scully from a free, 40 yards out, just to the right, sent it over the bar. The opening score of the game, a point for Tipperary. Just a minute and 3/4 gone in the first half that promises to be a lively encounter. I'd be particularly interested in the clash between Leonard Enright and Donie O'Connell. Two men noted for putting first time. There's no frills in their game. Once again, Tommy Quaid. He shed the bottom of his tracksuit now. The good day here, well blocked down there by Colin Bonner. Jimmy Carroll goes into the clash. It goes off Bonner, a line ball for Limerick. Liam O'Donoghue, the long-serving, bearded right half-back. He's seen a stint up in the forwards. He spits in his hand now in the fashion the turf cutters did in days of yore, left-handed. He cuts the ball down this side. Well cut, goes off Bobby Ryan's hurley. Jerry Stapleton goes in for it, kicks it along the ground. It breaks there to Paddy Kelly. He tries to get a shot across, but back there clearing up is Bobby Ryan. He's blocked down by Terence Kenny, but Jerry Stapleton is in there. The ball breaks out now and sent over the bar there. That's a good point from Pat Carey. The right half forward from Patrick Swell got that ball. Tipperary defence a little ponderous there. I thought that they might have cleared it out. The ball came to Pat Carey. He got it and sent it over the bar for the equaliser. Just over 3 minutes gone in the opening half. A point for Limerick from play by Pat Carey, equalising Michael Scully's effort from a free earlier on. The puck out right in the middle of the field, blocked down there by Anthony Carmody. Got in another little bit, and Jerry Stapleton misses his connection once again. They're bunching in there now, and that's to their detriment as Gary Kirby gets the ball across. Well picked up there by fullback Conor O'Donovan. Out into the centre, coming down for it. Michael Doyle, the son of the renowned John Doyle, passes the ball in field. Cut out by Liam O'Donoghue, only a little bit. Coming in for it is centre half-back Noel Leonard. He gets it along the ground. Down where Terry Kenny goes. He's beaten by Jerry Stapleton. Down this side, flicked in field by the number 10, Nicholas English, and then sent out over the sideline by Michael Doyle. A line ball for Limerick to be taken by their right full-back, Peter O'Connor. He has twin brother, and naturally enough, I suppose, his name is Paul. Peter and Paul O'Connor. They're twins. I saw them. He came up from the junior ranks. Right full back, Peter O'Connor, the Ardagh man, cuts it now, a good cut into the centre. And a foul there, a foul given against Anthony Carmody there. He tipped the hurley of midfielder Philip Kennedy before the arrival of the ball. Referee Willie Horgan right there in front of him. He penalised the Limerick man. The free taken by Philip Kennedy. That's a good shot. That's all the way over the bar. That's a good score from the Aero Nina performer, Philip Kennedy. A point from a free, 4.5 minutes into the opening half. Tipperary edge into a point lead, 2 points to 1. Tommy Quaid now has the top part of his tracksuit discarded. First of all, it was the bottom part, now it's the top part. I hope he stops at that. His puck out deep into Kilkenny territory. Pat Fitzgerald missed it there, but out came Conor O'Donovan, playing well in the early stages. Doubled on there in the middle of the field by Colin Bonner. It comes in where Michael Scully gets it on a little bit, but Liam O'Donoghue gets it up and left-handed, sets up a Limerick attack. Gary Kirby over there, so is Pat Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald tries to lift it up. He's shaken off it by John Quinn. He gets it out over the sideline. Harassed there, and the ball goes out over the sideline. A line ball for Tipperary to be taken by their right full-back and captain, Richard Staklam, the tall Staklam, the Borrisalee lad that gave us the Kennys and Liam Devaney among others. He cuts the ball into the centre now. Going across for it is Pat Kramer, about to be hooked, knows it, and then gets a second chance, gets the ball in where Colin Bonner waits for it, gets it up in his hand, sets up an attack, a dangerous ball, cleared out a little bit by Peter O'Connor. Tommy Quaid leaves his goal, comes out and left-handed, effects a good clearance down the far side. Anthony Carmody goes for it with Philip Kennedy. Carmody kicks it on a little bit. Pat Fitzgerald gets it out into the centre, blocked out there by Noel Leonard. Terence Kenny now gets the ball on, too far ahead for Jimmy Carroll. It comes back to Kenny, the white helmet Kenny, and he reenacts that, beating it into Jimmy Carroll. His puck blocked down well there by Pat Fitzgerald. The clearance by Bobby Ryan, the far side of the field. Coming down for it, Nicholas English. Left-handed, he gets it into the middle. Well blocked down by Noel Leonard. He's challenged by Michael Doyle, shakes off the attention, and right-handed gets the ball right down the middle. Coming out for it, Conor O'Donovan, he lost his hurley, and Mickey Quaid gets the ball in, cut out there well by left full-back Seamus Gibson, foraging over on the other side, helping out, and then he clears the ball out over the sideline. A line ball for Limerick. A line ball for Limerick. Coming up to 7 minutes into a lively game. 2 points to 1. Tipperary the leaders. Pat Kramer cuts it now into the centre. Oh, well doubled on by John Quinn over this side of the field now. Running out for it, left full forward, Gary Kirby. He's a tricky customer, this for North, Michael Quaid. And that's a good score from Limerick, and Michael Quaid, the Ballingarry lad, came out there, red helmeted, flashed across this side of the field, got that ball up and right-handed, sent it over the bar. 2 points for Limerick, 2 points for Tipperary. The Tipperary points coming from place balls, both Limerick scores coming from play. The first one by Pat Carey, and the equaliser there from Michael Quaid. The puck out by Tony Shepherd. Down this side, Jimmy Carroll and Colin Bonner. Colin Bonner picked up an accidental knock there, gets the ball out a little bit, far enough to reach Bobby Ryan. Left-handed, he sets up an attack. Coming down for it, Liam O'Donoghue now. Liam O'Donoghue beats Liam Stokes, gets the ball into the middle. Oh, well caught there by Jerry Stapleton. He turns and gets the ball down to Michael Scully, going in field. Fouled by Noel Leonard, but the referee rightly gives him the advantage, which he squanders. He sends the ball to the right and wide. Meanwhile, Willie Horgan has a word with Noel Leonard to be less vigorous. A good move by Tipperary there. The ball from Jerry Stapleton into Michael Scully. Scully turned and right-handed, sent the ball to the right and wide. A wasted opportunity for Tip. They're on par with Limerick, 2 points apiece. Tommy Quaid's puck out this side of the field. Colin Bonner, Jimmy Carroll puts up his hand for it. Bonner beats it down. Philip Kennedy goes for it. He's beaten by Noel Leonard, or Michael Doyle it was. Ball near the sideline. Definitely not gone out over it, but the linesman said it was. From where I'm looking, that ball was still in play. It's a line ball anyway to Tipperary. Bobby Ryan to take it. Bobby Ryan. He cuts it now, not a very good one. Added to by Michael Doyle. Liam Donoghue beaten there by Michael Scully. The ball goes into Liam Stokes. It won't come up for him. Peter O'Connor gets it out over the sideline. Doesn't gain much ground, but gets the ball out of the danger zone. A line ball to Tip. Colin Bonner coming down to take it. He has a helmet on him that has ribbons hanging out of it. There's a chin strap on it. He might be a product of Leonard Nimoy from Star Wars. Anyhow, he cuts this line ball now. Nothing wrong with the execution. He gets it over the far side of the field. Coming down for it. Right full forward. And there's another wide for Tipperary from John Quinn. John Quinn from Tipperary sent that to the left and wide. That was a good opportunity going a begging. I may have called Michael Ryan from Limerick John Quinn there, an error on my part earlier on. That was John Quinn, the Tipperary right full forward, sent that to the left and wide. 9.5 minutes gone in the opening half. A lovely day here in Semple Stadium. Tommy Quaid's puck out. Right down the middle. Terence Kenny goes for it with Jerry Stapleton. It beats both of them. Pat Fitzgerald comes across from the far wing. In there, tussling for it now and getting it is Philip Kennedy. He kicks the ball, no room to swing his stick. Michael Doyle doubles on it along the ground. Jimmy Carroll doubles on it as well along the ground. Jerry Stapleton has his puck blocked down. Hooked by Paddy Kelly. He gets a second chance and left-handed clears the ball down this side. Liam O'Donoghue won't come up for him, so he gets it along the ground near the sideline. Oh, well kept in play by Paddy Kelly. He seems to have switched there with... No, he's not. He's still in the corner. And coming across there, Pat Fitzgerald. Oh, his clearance well kept in play by Michael Scully. He gets it into Michael Doyle. Michael Doyle to Donie O'Connell. Out comes Tommy Quaid. Doesn't bother to lift the ball. Gets good distance in it along the ground. Philip Kenny beats Anthony Carmody. And right-handed strikes it high and over the bar. That's a good score from Tipperary's Philip Kenny. His second such score of the afternoon. Tipperary now lead 3 points to 2. 3 points to 2. 10 minutes and 3/4 gone in the opening half. The hurling is quite good. Both teams searching out each other's strengths and weaknesses as Tommy Quaid once again tries the far side of the field. Pat Fitzgerald is under it there. It breaks into the middle to Colin Bonner. Along the ground, down to Nicholas English. He gets by Pat Kramer. He's near the sideline. In fact, gone out over it, but he's been fouled by Pat Kramer. A free into Tipperary. Philip Kenny, their midfielder, to take it. Just on the sideline. On the sideline and fractionally in the Limerick half of the field. Kenny strikes it now, not a very good one. Michael Doyle brings it down. He's in a tussle there with Noel Leonard. The ball goes out the far side. Pat Kramer and Nicholas English. Kramer gets it out near the sideline, gets a good line ball. Still just a foot inside the far sideline. Racing across for it now is Jerry Stapleton. He's puck partially blocked down by Terry Kenny. Stapleton gets it a second time. Comes in field now, still harassed by Terry Kenny. A cross-field clearance coming down for it. Liam O'Donoghue. Oh, he leaves it after him, and Michael Scully avails of this. Flicks it in field to Michael Doyle. He outside to Nicholas English with all the room in the world and time to make his will out there. He strikes it now. Dave Barry blocked down his puck. That's good work by the corner back. And in there now is John Quinn. He avails of that, and he's fouled on his way through. He had gone through. He was fouled there, and there's a free into Tipperary, and this should stretch their lead. Just over 12 minutes into the opening half. Michael Scully going to take this. His side leads 3 points to 2. He's 35 yards out from the Limerick goal, almost dead straight in front of it. He places it with great care. He looks goalwards now and strikes it right-handed. He makes no mistake. That's a point for Tipperary from their left half forward, Michael Scully. 4 points for Tip, 2 for Limerick. Tommy Quaid now clad all in white. Steps up now, strikes it. Straight down the middle of the field again between Terry Kenny and Jerry Stapleton. Back goes Colin Bonner. Bobby Ryan gets it out a little bit, but there's the unmarked Jimmy Carroll, a wily performer, this fella. Runs into Michael Doyle. It doesn't worry him. Right-handed, he sends a crossfield ball. Pat Fitzgerald under it. He's beaten there by Michael Ryan. He pulls along the ground just a little bit. Coming over it now, Bobby Ryan, always covering. He flicks the ball down here to Philip Kennedy. In came Anthony Carmody, got the ball to Pat Carey, and Carey strikes it left-handed. This one has gone to the left and wide. Just fractionally to the left and wide. Some nice passages of hurling now. 13.5 minutes into the opening half. Tip 4 points, Limerick 2 points. A good crowd here this afternoon. The pitch, which was unplayable last Sunday, has a sanded area between the 50-yard line and the 21. In the Limerick half of the field. Meanwhile, another knock picked up there by Colin Bonner. And there are 2 players down injured. Bonner seems to be the more serious of the 2. They're in attending now to Colin Bonner, and meanwhile one of the Limerick players is also down injured. A clash in there. I can't quite make out. It might well be Anthony Carmody. Anthony Carmody from Limerick and Colin Bonner from Tip, the injured parties. Or Pat Kramer, the Limerick halfback, takes a slug out of the magic bottle. He's back on his feet now. Colin Bonner gingerly picks himself up and he puts on that warlike headgear. And meanwhile, play resumes with a free to Limerick, just in their own half of the field. Jimmy Carroll, the taker. The midfielder drops in a dangerous ball, well pulled on by Michael Quaid. Oh, and a great chance gone a-begging there for Gary Kirby. And the ball hoosed out over the end line by Conor O'Donovan at the expense of a 65. One must say that Gary Kirby missed a golden opportunity of a goal there. The ball broke there between Conor O'Donovan and Michael Quaid. Gary Kirby, over from his left corner position, was there under it. He struck it, was a bit ponderous about it, and the ball went off Conor O'Donovan for a 65. A 65 to Limerick. Pat Kelly out from his corner forward position, a low trajectory and dangerous ball. Tony Shepherd gets it and flicks it into his own net. Tony Shepherd had that ball under control, then turned it into his own goal. He bangs the ground. He bangs the ground in disbelief. Minutes nearly gone in the opening half. Tony Shepherd's puck out. A goal and 2 for Limerick now. 4 points of tip. That gives them added impetus now. The ball now with Paddy Kelly. He strikes it in. A good ball. Coming down for it now. Gary Kirby gets it in his hand. Strikes it low. Tony Shepherd, no trouble with it. Gathers it and left-handed gets it out here. Paddy Kelly under it. Colin Bonner races in. Gets the ball to Jerry Stapleton. Out to Philip Kenny. Along the ground. Far side of the field. Nicholas English goes for it. Doubles on it well. Gets it into the corner to John Quinn. Beaten by Donald Barry. And he gets the ball up in his hand now. He's near the sideline. Flicks the ball inside. Cut out by Pat Fitzgerald, but only as far as Noel Leonard, the centre half-back, trying to hand pass the ball. It goes astray. Philip Kenny pucks it along the ground, left-handed. John Quinn comes down for it with Dave Barry. In comes Liam O'Donoghue. Out comes Leonard Enright to a tumultuous reception. Jimmy Carroll in a clash there, and the ball breaks there to Michael Scully. He strikes it high, but it just gone to the right and wide. And Tony Shepherd saved that ball from the 65 from Paddy Kelly. The ball was dithering around there. I thought he had it well covered. Maybe Pat Carey distracted him. He might be able to claim some of the credit as he came in very fast on the goalkeeper. Meanwhile, one of the Limerick players leaving the field now. I'll follow the play. Tommy Quaid's puck out. Down the middle, going for it. Is their substitute. I'll tell you who he is in a second. He gets the ball in. Oh, well cleared out there by Bobby Ryan. Far side of the field, and it's Anthony Carmody that's gone off injured. Anthony Carmody gone off. The play is fast and furious here. A heavy tackle shipped there by Pat Fitzgerald. A free out to Tipperary. A free out to Tipperary from their own 65-metre line, and Pat Fitzgerald himself to take it. And the sub on the Limerick team is Danny Fitzgerald. Danny Fitzgerald was out because of injury. He's in the side now for the injured Anthony Carmody. The free by Pat Fitzgerald, a good one. Donie O'Connell pulls in it with Leonard Enright. Across comes Peter O'Connor. Craftily gets the ball out to Pat Kramer. He along the ground. Well flicked in by Nicholas English. Coming out for it is John Quinn. It goes off Noel Leonard out over the sideline. A line ball. It took a deflection from John Quinn. A line ball for Limerick. Pat Kramer, their left half back, to take it. He side leads. A goal and 2 points to 4 points. 5 points to 4. Kramer takes it, a good cut into the middle. Oh, well brought down by Jimmy Carroll. Great skills there. He gets the ball into Terry Kenny. Left-handed, he sends it in between Conor O'Donovan and Michael Quaid. The ball breaks there to Paddy Kelly. He topped his shot along the ground, and it harmlessly goes out over the end line and wide to the right of the post. And this Tip team hasn't quite settled down yet. Richard Stakelum, their captain, over there in the right corner, doesn't seem to have much of the play, not much of it going in his direction. He formed a great half-back line with Jerry Stapleton and Bobby Ryan. I wonder was it wise to disturb it, even for a player of the calibre of Pat Fitzgerald. Meanwhile, another of the Tipperary players, Michael Ryan, over there, down there for repairs. Play's held up now while Michael Ryan is being attended to. Just over 19 minutes gone in the stopwatch. An entertaining quarter-final. A goal and 2 points to 4 points, and despite all the forecasts of rain, it has happily held off. The puck out from Tony Shepherd now in the middle of the field, blocked down by Jimmy Carroll. Colin Bonner gets it along the ground. Coming down for it, Liam Stokes, beaten by Peter O'Connor. The ball goes out over the sideline. Line ball for Tipperary. Number 9, Colin Bonner for Tipperary with the sideline ball. Not a good cut, but it gets into Michael Scully, kicks it on a little bit, and then a crossfield ball into an open space, about to be filled now. by Terry Kenny and Pat Kramer. Kramer gets it out a little bit, down deep in his own half. Michael Ryan gets the ball down, but there's his marker, Pat Fitzgerald, all in his own. He gets it across the field here. Liam Stokes and Peter O'Connor. Liam O'Donoghue falls back for it, and the wily Donoghue gets a good clearance down here. Going up for it, Pat Carey and Bobby Ryan. The ball breaks into Terence Kenny. He strikes it low. In there is Conor O'Donovan. He gets the ball up on his stick without catching it, hits it down into the middle. Noel Leonard up for it with Michael Doyle. The ball breaks across this side of the field here from Nicholas English. Coming down for it now is Liam Stokes and Peter O'Connor having a rare old tussle, and then Pat Kramer came in there with Nicholas English. The referee, Willie Horgan, decides to throw the ball in between them. Meanwhile, there's another Limerick player down injured. Quite a lot of injuries in the opening 21 minutes of this game, and the injured party this time is Liam O'Donoghue, playing well at right half back. Picked up a knock there, and now he's getting a drop out of the bottle that's curative of all diseases and ailments. Play will resume with a throw-in. Liam O'Donoghue back on his feet. Michael Doyle and Noel Leonard coming over for the throw-in now. It breaks between them. There's Liam O'Donoghue. He scoops the ball near the sideline. Kept in play by Michael Scully. Donie O'Connell and Leonard Enright. And Leonard Enright penalised there for a rather careless pull on Donie O'Connell. He takes no prisoners, Leonard Enright. There's a free into Tipperary just to the left of the post, some 30 yards out from it. And Michael Scully, their sharpshooter at left half forward, about to take the free. Meanwhile, Jimmy Carroll down here under us getting some words of advice from Eamonn Cregan. Scully to the left of the post. He strikes it unerringly. That's a point for Tipperary to tie the sides. 5 points for Tip. A goal and 2 for Limerick. 22.5 minutes into the first half. Whatever breeze there is favours Limerick in this opening half. Tommy Quaid, he's puck out once again, more into the middle. Colin Bonner is under this one, catches it well, it bounces off his hand. He hand passes it out to Bobby Ryan. That's good work from Bonner. Ryan's clearance, Liam Stokes comes down for it now. Noel Leonard is there, the ball breaks to Michael Doyle, gets it in a little bit. Pat Kramer, in the unorthodox style, gets the ball up and strikes it. Then it's added to by Michael Ryan. Pat Carey along the ground into Gary Kirby. Richard Stapleton is there, gets it out along the ground to Jerry Stapleton, his club mate. He slips. And then Gary Kirby now in possession, but the ball breaks back to Richard Stapleton over from his own corner. Left-handed, he hasn't room to swing his stick. Dispossessed by Gary Kirby. Stapleton regains possession, sends the ball high rather than long. Blocked down by Noel Leonard. Jimmy Carroll goes for it, gets it along the ground. Cleared a little bit by Philip Kenny, and then Noel Leonard fouled by Michael Doyle as he was in possession and going through. A free into Limerick. Paddy Kelly, the taker. Danny Fitzgerald, as I said, in the game for Limerick. Paddy Kelly strikes it now. That's a good one over the bar. A point from Paddy Kelly from 55 yards out to put Limerick into a point lead again, 1-3 to 5 points. Just 24 minutes gone in a quite entertaining opening half. Tony Shepherd, the custodian for Tipperary. The man from Kilruan, McDonough, the puck out. You can hear the clang from the hurley. Just drops in the middle of the field. Well blocked down over there by Danny Fitzgerald. Going for it now. Michael Ryan, he's in a shamazel there, and the referee decides to throw in the ball. Yes, I thought he was going to do that. The ball thrown in now. And Philip Kenny is there. Stalemate as Danny Fitzgerald flicks it on a little bit. Coming in for it, Nicholas English. He's fouled in transit. There's a free to Tipperary, almost dead straight in the middle of the field. A free to Tipperary. A substitute hurley being summoned by Philip Kenny. Jerry Stapleton, the centre half back, to take this one. Exactly in the middle of the field. Stapleton lifts it now and strikes it. A good ball dropping just 20 yards out. Pat Kramer is there and Dave Barry. Out comes John Quinn. One hand in the hurley. He'd need 2 in this encounter. Noel Leonard dispossesses him, gets the ball along the ground. Added to by Michael Ryan. And the referee penalises one of the tipmen for a hand in the back. A free out to Limerick. Welcome relief for the Shannon-siders there. Denny Fitzgerald, the Clahan man. Lifts it high and strikes it well. Michael Ryan and Pat Fitzgerald. It breaks in there to Terry Kenny. Can't hold on to it. Conor O'Donovan is in there, helped out now by Jerry Stapleton. The ball out here to Jimmy Carroll. There are 3 tip men around him. Colin Bonner is one of them. He's dispossessed there by Terence Kenny. He hand passes the ball back to Paddy Kelly and right-handed. That looks good. Yes, that's a good point from Paddy Kelly. He's operating now out in the middle of the field, Paddy Kelly. That's a good point from him. Or at left half forward, Paddy Kelly is now. He's playing at left half forward. Terence Kenny is in at full forward. Michael Quaid is out at centre half forward. And Michael Ryan is at right full forward. That's the changes in the Limerick team. Meanwhile, the puck out blocked down. It comes to Michael Scully. A good cross-field ball, the far side of the field. John Quinn going through with Dave Barry. Out there is Nicholas English. Not so much in the game in the opening half. Dave Barry flicks the ball back to Leonard Enright. And Enright, with all the confidence you'd expect of a man of his experience, gets the ball down. Richard Stakeland comes out, fluffs his attempted clearance. Michael Quaid gets it into Terence Kenny. A beautiful layoff there to Michael Ryan. He strikes in a low ball. Well blocked out by Tony Shepherd to Conor O'Donovan near his own end line. The ball kept in play. He loses his hurl. He flicks the ball out there to Seamus Gibson. He out to Bobby Ryan. Bobby Ryan gets by Pat Carey and then right-handed effects a good clearance. Going up for it, Philip Kenny grabs the ball despite the attentions there of Denny Fitzgerald. And Denny Fitzgerald is penalised. The crowd don't like that decision. He pulled from behind on Philip Kenny. He knocked the ball off Kenny's stick. And there's a free to Tipperary. Jerry Stapleton to take it. 1-4 for Limerick. 5 points for Tip, 7 points to 5. Limerick in the lead. Oh, dangerous ball into John Quinn. Donie O'Connell goes across for it. Well blocked out there by Peter O'Connor. And cheekily he lifts the ball up in the square. Hand passes it out, but the hand pass goes astray. Reaching Nicholas English into the centre. Leonard Enright pulls there, gets it out to Peter O'Connor. He falls. Donie O'Connell is out there. Gets the ball now up in his hand. Hand passes out to Nicholas English. Gets by 2 tackles, 3, now a 4. And then he's penalised for over-carrying the ball, and he shipped a very heavy tackle there. The last of the quartet to meet Nicholas English was Leonard Enright, and he'll remember that one. Referee had blown his whistle for a free out, but 4 of them hit off hit off Nicholas English there. As I say, the last of the 4 was Leonard Enright, and if the other 3 hadn't done him any substantial damage, he will have felt the last one. Ironically, play resumes with a free out to Limerick. There's been a lot of stoppages in this opening half. There's just 28.5 minutes gone, but I'm sure that the referee will allow some time for stoppages. Meanwhile, Nicholas English happily back on his feet. He's rubbing his left thigh as Tommy Quaid comes out to 22 yards out. Strikes the free, right-handed this side of the field. Michael Ryan goes for it with Philip Kenny or Michael Quaid. Philip Kenny gets the ball back a little bit. Going in for it now, Jimmy Carroll. The ball on the ground, stalemate there. It breaks into Jimmy Carroll now, all the time in the world. Right-handed, he strikes it high. And it's gone over the bar. That's another good score for Limerick. They're availing of their chances much better than our Tipperary. 1-5 to 5 points. They're a clear goal in front now. Just over 29 minutes into the opening half. Tony Shepherd. The far side of the field, Philip Kenny and Denny Fitzgerald. Nicholas English comes down with Pat Kramer. English gets it on a little bit, but it's picked up by Denny Fitzgerald. He's coming in field now. He has the ball on his stick. He's been tackled by Philip Kenny. He shakes off the attentions. His puck is not a long one. Coming out for it, Bobby Ryan. In comes Michael Quaid there. He gets it, and then it's cleared out by Jerry Stapleton near the sideline, this side of the field. Gone out over it, despite the efforts of Philip Kenny. A line ball. A line ball for Michael Doyle, despite the efforts of Michael Doyle. A line ball for Limerick and Liam O'Donoghue. "60 yards out from the Tipperary goal. That's a good left-handed cut. Goes off Bobby Ryan's stick. Jerry Stapleton gets it out a little bit, trying to get Bobby Ryan. Bobby Ryan is tussling in there for the ball with Michael Ryan. No relation. And then the ball breaks to Carey, no room to swing his stick. Oh, he gets by 2 tackles and then hand passes the ball in, but to Philip Kenny. Philip Kenny back in defence there, gets the ball to his midfield partner, Colin Bonner. He hand passes it out to Michael Doyle, deep in his own half, and he's penalised for over-carrying the ball. There were 3 Limerick men in on him like a flash there. Jimmy Carroll, Danny Fitzgerald and Paddy Kelly. He was like O'Brien's ass, he had nowhere to go. Referee Willie Horgan, well up with the play, one must say, in his favour. Had no hesitation in blowing the whistle as Paddy Kelly sends the ball over the bar. That's a good point from Kelly from 55 yards out. They're penalising every indiscretion by Tipperary. There's just nearly 31 minutes gone in the stopwatch now. 1-6 to 5 points. Tony Shepherd once again with the puck out, far side of the field. Danny Fitzgerald and Philip Kenny. Out goes Michael Doyle and Noel Leonard. Noel Leonard is penalised for pulling across Michael Doyle there, and Michael Scully races across the field from the left wing position to take the free. 1-6 to 5 points. Tipperary, one must add, would have been considered the pre-match favourites. Michael Scully looks goalwards, lifts the ball and strikes it now. It's gone to the right and wide. Hopelessly to the right. The ball didn't come up too kindly for him. He struck it and it went to the right and wide. And the referee doesn't allow for the puck out. He brings the first half to a close. A generous round of applause for the combatants. Tipperary lead a goal and 6 points to 5 points to the home county. And I'm sure that both sets of players will look forward to the drop of tea at the interval, and I'd say the speeches will be of varying natures in the respective dressing rooms. I'll be back to bring you the story of the second half in a little while. Welcome back, and the news from Tipperary is that there are 2 changes in personnel. John McGrath and Pat Fox are both on the side. I don't see John Quinn there. No change on the Limerick team, as you'd expect. John Quinn seems to be gone off the Tipperary team. And it looks as if Liam Stokes is gone. I'll tell you about that when I get a chance. Meanwhile, the throw-in, and Jimmy Carroll sets Limerick into the attack now. Doubled on by Terry Kenny, a dangerous ball in their own, missed by Seamus Gibson. The ball comes across, Gary Kirby gets it in a little bit, but back there is Conor O'Donovan. He gets the ball up and clears it right-handed, a good clearance. Down here, Danny Fitzgerald gets the ball, it ricochets off Philip Kenny. He's partially blocked down by Nicholas English. Philip Kenny gets it along the ground. Noel Leonard comes in, playing well at centre-back as the game progresses, and he sets up a Limerick attack. Oh, Gary Kirby pulls it over, well caught by Richard Stakelum. Left-handed, he gets it out into the middle of the field. One-handed pull there by Michael Doyle. The ball breaks back to Philip Kenny, gets it down into the corner. Pat Fox going for it now with Dave Barry. Donald Barry. Barry pulls in it out, gets it out as far as Pat Kramer. It goes off his hand. In comes Philip Kenny. A bit disjointed, tipped up. 3 of them going for the ball. Noel Leonard gets it. A lovely overhead flick by Michael Quaid. Across comes Philip Kenny. The ball with Quaid again. Oh, he flicks it inside to the substitute there. He's hooked by Bobby Ryan. That's Shane Fitzgibbon. He's dispossessed but gets the ball out to Danny Fitzgerald. In it goes to Terry Kenny, and he strikes it. Oh, it hits the woodwork off the post, and Tony Shepherd, very lucky there, gets the ball down. Coming down for it, Michael Doyle gets it in his midriff. Left-handed, gets it across the field. Going for it, one of the subs, John McGrath. It bounces off his boot, out he comes through it. John McGrath tries to get inside Peter O'Connor. Gets by him now, the ball on the ground near the sideline. He gets it along the ground. Cut out by Liam O'Donoghue, good midfield, cross-field ball. Philip Kenny gets it into Michael Doyle. He misses it rather badly. He's dispossessed by Jimmy Carroll. And there's a foul on Jimmy Carroll by Michael Doyle. That's a bad miss, and Leonard Enright is coming down to take it. The sturdy man from Patrickswell. 2 minutes into the second half. And on the field for Limerick is Shane Fitzgibbon as Leonard Enright takes the free. Oh, good one. And just beats Terry Kenny out over the end line and wide. appear that Pat Carey is gone off the Limerick team and is replaced by Shane Fitzgibbon from the puck out. John McGrath's penalised there, or Donie O'Connell penalised for a foul there, and there's a free out once again to Limerick, and Leonard Enright comes out 55 yards out from his own goal to take this free. A lot of changes now as Leonard Enright, oh, that's a huge free, dropping it right in. Tony Shepherd gathers it well, goes out the far side of the field, and he's fouled on his way out there. There's a free out to Tipperary for a foul on goalkeeper Tony Shepherd. From his own parallelogram, Shepherd strikes a good free the far side of the field. Liam O'Donoghue comes down for it. Oh, well caught by Michael Scully. He sets up an attack, a dangerous ball in there. John McGrath flicks it in. Tommy Quaid flicks it out a little bit. Leonard Enright is there. So is Peter O'Connor. So is Pat Kramer. Peter O'Connor goes back, gets it up, playing well at corner back. Is Peter O'Connor, clears it out the far side. Well caught once again by Michael Scully. Ships a tackle from Danny Fitzgerald. The ball now with Donie O'Connell. He's beaten there by Noel Leonard. It goes off of Pat Kelly into the hands of Danny Fitzgerald. He's fouled and there's a free to Limerick. 4 minutes into the second half, and once again Leonard Enright comes out to take the free. Leonard Enright, and I can see Pat Carey over in the right corner. It would appear that it's Mikey Ryan that's gone off the Limerick side. Meanwhile, the free taken and it breaks to Conor O'Donovan, playing well at full-back. He gets it out to the other man wearing a white helmet, Colin Bonner, and he clears it down this side of the field. Pat Kramer goes through with Nicholas English. English along the ground, looking for and finding Michael Scully. Oh, he flicks it back to English. A nice return pass there. He's upended there by Noel Leonard, a free into Tipperary. Michael Scully going to take it, not with the same enthusiasm as he took the frees in the first half. Their heads are hanging a bit low now. They trail by 4 points, 1-6 to 5 points. 5 minutes into the second half, no score yet as Michael Scully crouches over the ball, looks goalwards, lifts it now and drops it in, and it's gone over the bar. Yes, just gone over the bar. Tommy Quaid jumped up for it. That's a good point from Scully, narrowing the gap to just a goal now. A goal and 6 for Limerick, 6 points for Tipperary. Their supporters getting behind them now. Yes, the cry goes up for Tipperary now as Tommy Quaid pucks the ball out the far side of the field. Well cut by Colin Bonner, the hopping ball. Left-handed, he gets it down into the corner. John McGrath goes for it over the ball, centred now in field. Noel Leonard is there, being challenged by Donie O'Connell, who's gone out centre forward. He gets the ball to Peter O'Connor. He to Jimmy Carroll. Jimmy Carroll gets by Colin Bonner, who falls. Jimmy Carroll looking for Paddy Kelly. The ball a little strong. Going for it, Pat Fitzgerald. He gets it down this side of the field. Coming out for it, Pat Fox, wearing number 23. Left-handed, he gets it into the centre. Oh, well picked up there by Philip Kenny. Tries to make room for himself. Gets the ball in, caught by Donie O'Connell. He strikes it right-handed, and there's a good point for Tipperary. That's a good move from Tipperary. From Pat Fitzgerald to Philip Kenny to Pat Fox to Donie O'Connell and over the bar. That's a good score. 1-6 now for Limerick, 7 points for Tipperary. And we could be in for a very interesting afternoon here at Thurles as Tommy Quaid takes the puck out this side of the field. Pat Fitzgerald and Paddy Kelly. Fitzgerald puts up his hand, doesn't hold on to it, kicks the ball far side of the field, picked up by his counterpart Liam O'Donoghue. He gets it in. Richard Stakeland puts up his hand for it, goes off it. Seamus Gibson is back there, left-handed. He gets it out to the left half-back Bobby Ryan. He flusters it there. Jerry Stapleton is in to try and help him. But in there too, Shane Fitzgibbon, left-handed. Oh, that's a good cross ball from Shane Fitzgibbon. It comes to Gary Kirby. He sends it high and to the right and wide. Gary Kirby is suggesting that that was over the bar. It looked a marginal decision, but the umpire says it's wide. Babs Keating in to see Richard Stakeland. There's another sub now getting ready to come in for Tipperary. It's John Heffernan, and the man to leave the fray is Richard Stakeland. He's injured and he's a huge loss to Tipperary. Yes, John Heffernan, just 7 minutes into the second half, replaces the captain Richard Stakeland. A very well-deserved round of applause for the Borrisalee lad, and he's very dejected looking coming off the field now. John Heffernan goes in wearing number 19 at right full back. Meanwhile, Tony Shepherd prepares to take the puck out, does so now. A good puck right down the middle. Noel Leonard and Donie O'Connell. Leonard blocks it out, but Colin Bonner catches the breaking ball. He's dispossessed by Noel Leonard. He ships a tackle from Donie O'Connell, hand passes the ball to nobody in particular. That nobody now becomes Pat Fitzgerald. Gets the ball in where Jimmy Carroll catches the hopping ball and right-handed sends in a dangerous one. Tony Shepherd under it. He's been challenged. The ball has gone over the line, yes. It's gone over the line from Terence Kenny, and the goal is being allowed. The goalkeeper talking to the umpire here. He was under the ball. Terry Kenny followed it in. The ball trickled over the end line and over the goal line. Ossie Bennett in there questioning the decision of the umpire. But the goal stands. It's 2-6 for Limerick, 7 points for Tip. And Tony Shepherd will be disgusted with that one. Gets the ball the far side. Michael Scully puts up his hand for it. Goes off it out over the sideline. A line ball for Limerick. Liam O'Donoghue to be the taker. Referee goes over to have a word with the linesman. And the referee is changing the direction of that line ball. He's awarding it to Tipperary. And now Colin Bonner to take it. In the Limerick half of the field, he cuts it, not a very good one, along the ground. Liam O'Donoghue gets it out a little bit. Coming in for it, Philip Kenny. Oh, he flicks the ball in, intended for Donie O'Connell, but goes instead to Liam O'Donoghue. He gets it out to Noel Leonard. He gets it along the ground. Coming down for it, Pat Fitzgerald. He misses it. The ball breaks to Michael Quaid. Trying to get it up in his hand now. Fails, but lets it go along the ground. Gets it in there to Carey. He's on his knees. And coming in for a Jerry Stapleton. Now coming in is Pat Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald clears a good relieving clearance down here. Putting his hand down for his Michael Doyle, fails to hold on to it, not having the happiest afternoon is Doyle. The ball now cleared out there to Danny Fitzgerald from Donald Barry, and Fitzgerald sends a huge ball in, cut out by Conor O'Donovan. He's without his hurley, and he has Terry Kenny for company. Kenny isn't a bit concerned about the fact that O'Donovan has no timber in his hand, and he pulls there as O'Donovan gets the ball out over the sideline. A line ball for Limerick to be taken by Paddy Kelly. He's just 23 yards out. Oh, he cuts a good ball right across the face of the goal. Cleared out there by Michael Scully, deep in his own defence. It comes to Pat Fitzgerald. He's easily beaten by Michael Quaid. Michael Quaid now hand passes the ball in, well cut out by Conor O'Donovan. Pat Fitzgerald falls over himself once again as Gary Kirby centres the ball. Colin Bonner is there with Jimmy Carroll. Bonner gets it, but only as far as Danny Fitzgerald up in his hand. He strikes it in a good ball. Carey goes, so it comes off his hand and cleared out by Philip Kenny. Along the ground, Michael Scully goes, so gets a nudge in the back from Liam O'Donoghue, well spotted by Willie Horgan. A free to Tip and welcome relief to the men from the Premier County. They're at 6s and 7s. They're falling all over each other in there. Jerry Stapleton, centre back, and he can't even lift the ball. He gets it go along the ground. Michael Scully gets it infield to Donie O'Connell. He might choose Michael Doyle. He does so now. Or Nicholas English. Oh, Nicholas English going through. They're converging on him. Gets it into Pat Fox. He strikes it and into the top corner of the net. That's a great goal from Pat Fox. And now we have another big hurling game on here. Oh, and one of the Tipperary men is flattened in there in the parallelogram. Babs Keating alerts Willie Horgan to it. The bows ring up around the ground, and I'm sure Willie Horgan, when he comes out from the consultations with the umpire, will want to have a word with Leonard Enright. Rather uncalled for, one must add there. And what a great goal. Nicholas English just down here in front of me. He's limping badly now as Willie Horgan comes out to Leonard Enright, and I wouldn't be surprised if he sent him to the line. I wouldn't be surprised if Leonard Enright's interest in this game was going to end 11 and a half minutes into the second half. The referee going in once again to see the injured party. I think it's Michael Doyle that's injured. Babs Keating is in there. There's a lot of concern shown for the injured Tipperary player. Willie Horgan telling Babs Keating that any disciplinary treatment that's to be dished out, he'll administer it. They're still attending, but what a great goal that was. Nicholas English, 4 of them converged on him. He pluckily hand-passed the ball out to Pat Fox, and left-handed, the diminutive Fox stuck the ball in the top right-hand corner of the net as he looked in. And Michael Doyle restored to full health. He makes a gesture with his hurley towards Leonard Enright, and let's hope that this game doesn't spill over now as Doyle goes back to Enright, and then the referee tells him that your name is going in the book, Mr. Doyle. And a game that was productive of some fine hurling, some great ground hurling, has now degenerated into this. And there's a row down here. There's a row down here among the spectators as well, getting in on the act. We'll follow the play, the puck out, and temper's getting a bit on edge here now, as going for the ball is Shane Fitzgibbon. He's knocked off with their 3 Tipperary men there. One of them is Jerry Stapleton, gets it out a little bit. It goes back to Bobby Ryan. He catches the hopping ball. Left-handed, sets up an attack. Or rather vicious pull by Leonard Enright there on Michael Doyle. And Liam O'Donoghue pulls on Doyle. In comes Doyle now, pulls on it. Donie O'Connell has only half a hurley in his hand. The ball with Liam O'Donoghue. His puck is blocked down, and let's hope that referee Willie Horgan doesn't lose control of this game now, as the linesman rather courageously goes in to short-head what might have been a volatile situation over at the far sideline. But certainly the way Leonard Enright pulled across Michael Doyle there would certainly have merited and should have merited dismissal. And I hope, as I say, that the referee doesn't lose touch with this game now. It's a free to Limerick and to Liam O'Donoghue just in from the sideline. He takes it left-handed, a high ball. Going up for it is Michael Quaid. It breaks down there to Bobby Ryan, puts the ball in his stick, comes in field. He kicks the ball in front of him. He's still being pursued by Michael Quaid. He loses possession. Danny Fitzgerald comes in. He's hooshed off it by Philip Kenny. Jerry Stapleton pulls. He's beaten there by Shane Fitzgibbon. He kicks the ball on in front of him. Seamus Gibson gets the ball out a little bit. Conor O'Donovan, the soundest by far of the tip full back line, gets the ball down. Liam O'Donoghue goes back for it with John McGrath. McGrath gets it out to Michael Scully, trying to get it up in his hand. There's no room for frills in this game, and the linesman comes in there. Good work by the linesman. He attracts the referee's attention, and in fairness, the referee was on his way over as well, and there's another player stretched, and this time Jimmy Carroll has been spoken to by referee Willie Horgan. And what a pity, as I say, that a game that was productive of such good hurling, that 15 minutes into the second half now, there have been about 3 of that taken up with disciplinary considerations, and there's a call for a stretcher, and that's an unhappy augury in any game. And referee is sending Jimmy Carroll to the sideline. And I suppose it was inevitable that someone would go. And mind you, in the heat of all this, and despite all I've said, maybe Jimmy Carroll's indiscretion wasn't as great as one that earlier went unpunished. But the fact that there's a stretcher called for has signalled the end of Jimmy Carroll's interest in this game midway through the second half. And these are unsightly scenes here at Semple Stadium in Thurles. Scenes that the game could well have done without. You can hear it for yourself, the booing that greets Jimmy Carroll as he leaves the field with Tim Crow, the trainer, and Eamonn Cregan, the manager. Meanwhile, down at the other end of the field, Nicholas English is being attended to. And there's the unhappy sight and sad sight of a player having to be taken off the field in a stretcher. There's a free to Tipperary now. And the appreciation of the crowd. I think it's Philip Kenny is taking the free. We can't know who's injured. I think it might be John McGrath. The free gone in. And Paddy Kramer gets it now. He clears at the far side of the field. Coming down for it, Pat Fitzgerald. The tackles now are fearsome. He sets up an attack for Tipperary. Up goes Michael Doyle. He's dispossessed there by Danny Fitzgerald. The ball down this side of the field now. Jerry Stapleton goes back for it with Michael Quaid. In comes John Heffernan. Flicks it along with his boot. Gets it out a little bit, but only as far as Gary Kirby. He's dispossessed there by Pat Fitzgerald. Out comes Jerry Stapleton, and an exchange of blows there between Jerry Stapleton and Gary Kirby as Philip Kenny gets the ball down to the goal scorer, Pat Fox. He leaves the ball after him. It comes to Noel Leonard. He hand passes the ball, intercepted by Colin Bonner, having a sterling game for Tipperary. He's gone right through the defence. Hand passes the ball. The hand pass well intercepted there by Donald Barry, but in comes Donie O'Connell. Across comes Noel Leonard. Clears the ball out over the sideline. A line ball for Tipperary. One would want 6 pairs of eyes to follow all the things that are going on and off the ball in this contest. Meanwhile, Nicholas English to take the line ball, 2-6 to 1-7. 12 points to 10. Oh, Liam don't know how the ball goes off his hand. It goes to John McGrath. He sends it high and over the bar. So John McGrath wasn't the injured party. John McGrath sent that over the bar, 2-6 to 1-8. And the referee's whistle. Yes, the referee's whistle was gone. It's a free to Tipperary. That point doesn't score. It's a free to doesn't count. It's a free to Tipperary. It's Michael Scully, I think, that was injured there. Yes, left half forward, Michael Scully, that was stretchered off. I thought it was he when I saw him coming in there under me on the stretcher. Meanwhile, the free is sent over the bar. So now it's 2-6 to 1-8. Nicholas English sent that free over the bar. He's limping quite visibly. He's gone into the corner in an exchange with Pat Fox. 2-6 to 1-8 now. 12 points to 11 on the stopwatch. 19 minutes gone. Tommy Quaid, and of course Limerick down to 14 players now. The far side of the field. The ball goes there to Michael Quaid. He gets it into the centre. Terence Kenny. Oh, and the ball breaks there to Pat Carey. He's dispossessed. And now Pat Fitzgerald is in there. And the ball is struck along the ground there over the bar by Pat Carey. A good ground shot there. Or from Gary Kirby. Gary Kirby sent that over the bar, a ground shot. The ball broke from 3 or 4 Tipperary defenders out to Gary Kirby. And he sent it over the bar, a good ground shot. Now Limerick lead by 2 points, 2-7 to 1-8, the ball in the middle of the field. Pat Fox gets it up and then he's pulled on by Pat Kramer, a free into Tip. Nicholas English limps out to take the free, 2-7 to 1-8. 13 points to 11, just 20 minutes gone in the second half, and I'm certain that the referee will allow some time for stoppages in the second half. Meanwhile, there's another sub getting ready to join the fray for Limerick as Nicholas English strikes it now. He sends it to the left and wide. He looks a little puzzled at that decision. It goes to the left and wide. 2-7 to 1-8. Now, and even though Limerick are reduced to 14, it would appear that so are Tip, because they had their 3 subs used up, if memory serves me. They had John McGrath, Pat Fox and John Heffernan in, so it is 14 aside if my mathematics are correct. Meanwhile, the ball cleared out a little bit by Colin Bonner. Noel Leonard is in there, and the referee is going to throw the ball in, a wise decision. It was getting quite hot there in the middle of the field. He's going to throw the ball in between Noel Leonard and Donie O'Connell. He's telling the participants to cool it. Noel Leonard wins the throwing ball, gets it to Michael Quaid. He's playing well as Quaid. Gets it in where Seamus Gibson gets it. His attempted clearance is blocked down. But there to pick it up is Pat Fitzgerald. He flicks it out to Colin Bonner. And there's a free out to Tipperary. A free out to Tipperary. There was a foul on Pat Fitzgerald. A free from where the ball landed, and Pat Fitzgerald himself to take it now. Fitzgerald is a great striker of a dead ball. That's no exception. That one hangs, but it's gone to the left. It's gone to the left and wide. He had the distance. The direction was just off, but Tipperary now coming more into the game. They trail by 2 points. 2-7 to 1-8, and their 2 chances gone a begging. One by Nicholas English from a free, and the other just there by Pat Fitzgerald. Tommy Quaid steps out now to the edge of the parallelogram and strikes that ball. That's a good puck out. Colin Bonner is under it. Gets it well despite the attentions there of Danny Fitzgerald. Turns in field and gets the ball in, blocked out by Leonard Enright. We're into the Pat of Pat Fox, playing very well since coming in. There are two tip men here now, and Donald Barry does well to flick it out. And now Leonard Enright in possession. He hand passes the ball out to the unmarked Peter O'Connor. Goes off his stick. He makes a great effort and keeps it in play the far side of the field. Then cuts it along the ground. Jerry Stapleton cuts it out a little bit. Coming in for it there is Pat Fitzelli. Hand passes it out to John Heffernan. Running free this side of the field, trying to get it up. And there's no room for fancy work here as he's joined by Gary Kirby. He gets a second chance. Hand passes the ball into the centre to Philip Kenny. And it's gone over the bar from the Borrisalee lad. He acknowledges the good pass from John Heffernan. Philip Kenny struck it first time right-handed over the bar. 2-7 to 1-9. 13 points to 12, and those who stayed away today have missed a lot of excitement. And let me add, a lot of good hurling as well. There's been some very good hurling in this game. Brian Finn is getting ready to join the fray. We'll keep up with the place. Philip Kenny sets up an attack. The ball with John McGrath. Here's a man running free outside him. It's Michael Doyle. Michael Doyle gets it into the centre. Coming across Pat Kramer. Good work by Kramer. Gets it out to Donald Barry. Along the ground from Barry. It goes off Liam O'Donoghue. And there's a free out there for a foul on Donald Barry after he cleared the ball. And now there's another name going into the book. Meanwhile, Brian Finn comes in the game for Limerick. Just coming up to the 24th minute of the second half, and John McGrath gets his name in the book there for a foul on Donald Barry. A free out to Limerick when play resumes. Brian Finn in the game now. I'll tell you who's gone off in a moment. There are several people on the field now who have nothing to do with being players. Meanwhile, they're still in attending to Donald Barry. Leaving the scene, it would appear to be it's Gary Kirby, yes. Gary Kirby, the left full forward. He's called ashore to make way for Brian Finn. I've seen Brian Finn playing under 21 and senior. He usually operates in the half-back line. And Gary Kirby is going back on the field. And I see Eamonn Cregan going off now. That's good tactic because if Donald Barry has to go off, they'd be wasting a sub. Eamonn Cregan issuing instructions now to Brian Finn as to where to sight himself. Meanwhile, Gary Kirby, while he's on the field, doesn't know whether he'll be remain. No, he's not. Gary Kirby is coming off the field now as Donald Barry resumes his place. He's back in action. And meanwhile, Liam O'Donoghue resumes with a free. He drops it in, far side of the field. Flicked out a little bit there by Conor O'Donovan. Seamus Gibson over in the far corner, playing well after a shaky start, gets the ball down to John McGrath, goes off him, and with it now is Peter O'Connor right down and 40 yards out from the Tipperary goal. That'll tell you how this game is going. Gets it to Paddy Kelly, and Kelly sends it across the goal. He flashes it across the goal to the left and wide. Just a point between the sides. 13 points to 12. Over 25 minutes gone. Oh, quick puck out there from Tony Shepherd. He spotted the unmarked John Heffernan, and Heffernan sends a huge ball in, setting up an attack in between Michael Doyle and Leonard Enright. The ball breaks in there between them. There are three of them on the ground, but Donald Barry is on his feet. He flicks the ball out, but only as far as Donie O'Connell. He turns and strikes it high. It's hanging there, and there's the equaliser. Just over 26 minutes gone, and you can hear the crowd cheering now in Semple Stadium as the teams are deadlocked. 2-7 for Limerick, a goal, and 10 for Tipperary. 13 points apiece, and now the game is absolutely electrifying. Tommy Quaid prepares to take the puck out now. Donie O'Connell, often accused of being wayward with his shooting, popped over 2 points there now. He blocks the ball down. The ball is blocked down by Colin Bonner. Peter O'Connor deep in Tipperary half gets the ball down. Terence Kenny goes out for it. Oh, centres the ball very well. Shane Fitzgibbon misses it. There are 4 tip men there. One of them, Philip Kenny, playing well all there. Bobby Ryan gets the ball down. It ricochets in there to Michael Doyle. He finds John McGrath very well. This must be the lead for Tip. He strikes it now high and over the bar. There's the lead for Tipperary for the first time, not the first time in this game, but the lead for Tipperary once again. The first time certainly since Limerick got the goal and the score stood at 1-2 to 4 points. Now it's 1-11 for Tip, 2-7 for Limerick, 14 points to 13. Tommy Quaid with the puck out, hardly room to take a breath here. And the ball flicked on there by Paddy Kelly, one-handed, and then he gets it two-handed. Out comes Conor O'Donovan, playing very well in there at full-back, as I earlier said. The ball the far side of the field now, trying to get it up in his hand and succeeding, is Shane Fitzgibbon. And he strikes it high, and there's the equaliser. Brian Finn, who just came on as a substitute, sent that over the bar, and now the teams are level again. 2-8 to 1-11. Tony Shepherd's puck out, 28 minutes exactly into the second half, and don't forget there'll be extra time here if there's a draw at the finish, and I'd say there'll be no mix-up here as Danny Fitzgerald gets the ball along the ground, picked up in there by Seamus Gibson. He crossfield ball, running on to John McGrath with Peter O'Connor, and O'Connor retrieves the situation. It goes into Leonard Enright. He gets it along the ground. Picking it up in there now is Brian Finn, playing well since coming in. Grabbing the ball out there is Seamus Gibson. His puck partially blocked down. He got the ball to Pat Fitzgerald. He clears it in. It goes off Noel Leonard, and Donie O'Connell is there. Stalemate between them. Leonard gets it out a little bit as far as Brian Finn. Kicked on by Colm Bonner. Out comes Liam O'Donoghue. His hurley is in halves. The ball now with John Heffernan. He's another substitute that's earning his keep since he came in. He gets the ball in. Leonard Enright on his own. The ball goes off his hand near the end line. He keeps it in play and sends it out over the sideline. A line ball for Tipperary, the team's level. 2-8 for Tip, 1-11, or 2-8 for Limerick, 1-11 for Tipperary, and this is a real cliffhanger. Sideline cut taken now, intended for Philip Kenny, but in comes Paddy Kelly, wearing number 13 and down his own full back line. Gets the ball out, Colm Bonner gets it, no room to swing his stick. Michael Quaid is in there, so is Brian Finn. Between them they foul him, and there's a free into Tipperary. A free into Tipperary. Bobby Ryan asking Ossie Bennett, is there much time left? I can tell him there's 29 3/4 minutes gone. The free quickly taken by Philip Kenny over to the unmarked Pat Fitzgerald. He sends in a low ball, blocked out by Liam O'Donoghue. A cross shot by John McGrath. Running out for it now is Donald Barry. Flicked out a little bit and comes out to the safe hands of Danny Fitzgerald. Bruce clearance goes straight to Pat Fitzgerald. He strikes it and it's gone to the left and wide. And then there's 30 minutes and 15 seconds gone. The sides are level. Are we going to have drama in Semple Stadium in Thurles? Are we going to have extra time here? Oh, what a game. 14 points apiece. Tommy Quaid with the puck out. He strikes it now. I'm looking at the referee. Is he going to add the time? Colm Bonner goes through with Michael Quaid. Across comes Bobby Ryan. Cleared out there by Jerry Stapleton. Going for a Donie O'Connell with Pat Kelly. O'Connell flicks it on a little bit. Liam O'Donoghue gets it up in his hand, puts it on his stick. He's tackled and fouled. There's a free to Limerick. There's 30 minutes and 52 seconds gone. This might well be the last piece of action of this quarter-final of the 60 minutes of it. Paddy Kelly, the usually reliable Paddy Kelly, he's 66 yards out from the Tipperary goal. He's just to the right of it. He wears the number 13, lucky for some, unlucky for others. The Kilmallock lad strikes it now. Tops his shot. It drops in. Conor O'Donovan comes out for a little nudge in the back from Terence Kenny, goes unpunished. On the ball there, flashed out over the end line by Mickey Quaid. And out over the end line and wide to the left of the post. And I'm sure now, 31 and a half minutes into the second half, are we to be treated to extra time? The referee, Willie Horgan, scrutinises his watch. Drama that Alfred Hitchcock wouldn't have put together in his prime here. The ball blocked down by Danny Fitzgerald as far as Paddy Kelly. Puts the ball in his stick. His career in goal works pursued by Pat Fitzgerald. Turns in field, strikes it high, and there's the winner. That must surely be the winner for Limerick. A point from Paddy Kelly. He gives the victory sign there. He turned in field and he's so accurate, this fella. The puck out by Tony Shepherd. 32 minutes gone, just over it. And the ball now with Pat Fox. He's making his way goalwards now. He hits in a low ball. It's well blocked out by Donald Barry. Goes to Liam O'Donoghue. His puck is intercepted. Oh, and Pat Fox missed that one. He hooks Danny Fitzgerald and the ball now with Colin Bonner. He hand passes it in to Donie O'Connell. He's without his hurling and it's a free into Tip. It's a free into Tip. 32 and a half minutes into the second half. And my God, if this could be filmed, what a game it is. What a game it is. A free into Tipperary. Nicholas English strikes it as cool as a cucumber over the bar, and that must surely be the equaliser for Tip. Tony Nealon tells them down the field, lads. Tommy Quaid, 2-9 to 112, 15 points each, and that's the end of normal time. And if you can call what's going on here normal, that's the end of that time. Now there's extra time, and I'm going to take my breath, whatever about the rest of you. Well, this drama has not yet unfolded. The players got a standing ovation as they left the pitch, and as you know, there's a quarter of an hour each side in extra time. The teams go out with their full complement of 15 each, and the easiest thing I can do, we've just got the Limerick team, and it is Tommy Quaid in goal, the full back line, Peter O'Connor, Leonard Enright and Donal Barry. The half-back line, Liam O'Donoghue, Noel Leonard and Pat Kramer. No change in the defence. Midfield now is Danny Fitzgerald and Brian Finn. The half-forwards, on the right is Pat Carey, centre-forward Terence Kenny and left-half-forward Paddy Kelly. The full-forward line is Shane Fitzgibbon, Pat McCarthy, who comes in for the extra time, and left full-forward is Michael Quaid. I have yet no word of the Tipperary team. There's huge expectation around the ground. Needless to say, rather than people leaving, they tend to be arriving for the extra time. And I have no word of the Tipperary team. I'll get it to you as soon as I get it. And now as you join us, the Tip team is out in the field, and I'll quickly run through their line out for you. In goal is Tony Shepherd. The full back line on the right, wearing number 19, is John Heffernan. Full back Conor O'Donovan, and left full back Seamus Gibson. The half line is the same, Pat Fitzgerald, Jerry Stapleton and Bobby Ryan. Centre field now, and wearing number 22 is Francis Collins. He partners Colin Bonner. The half forward line, and the forwards are all changed. On the right now is Pat Fox, wearing 23. Centre half forward is Donie O'Connell, and left half forward is Philip Kennedy. The full forward line, top of the right, is Nicky English. Full forward is Liam Stokes, and left full forward is John McGrath. That's the latest in this epic. The referee and his linesmen and the Tipperary team out on the field. The referee blowing now quite imperiously for the appearance of the Limerick team. And now as you join us, out come the Limerick team. 15 minutes each way, and if they produce half the thrills that the preceding 60 minutes have served up, everybody will leave here quite content. There's the referee now tossing for which way the sides will play. Bobby Ryan taking over as captain in the absence of the injured Richard Stakelum. In the middle of the field now, Colin Bonner and Francis Collins, Danny Fitzgerald and Brian Finn. And now there's a further change announced in the Limerick team. Pat McCarthy is not playing. Gary Kirby is now corner forward, and Michael Quaid is full forward. The referee looks at his watch once again. The players are criss-crossing. There are handshakes, believe it, all round, and that's a good omen. Let's hope that the next half hour stays like this. It's now 8 minutes past the hour of 5 o'clock. Tommy Quaid is going like a fella that's emigrating. He has a load of luggage with him, hurleys and what towels and whatever else he has, making his way down to the other goal. The referee, Willie Horgan, standing still in the middle of the field, and any moment now, the last chapter of this game should unfold. The throw-in, and the Brian Finn gets the ball into Terry Kenny. He strikes it, not a very long one. John Heffernan comes out. He beats McQuaid, and a good clearance from Heffernan, and it'll be who stays the trip the better now, as Donald Barry, playing well all day, gets the ball out. Pat Fox gathers it, and left-handed drops a dangerous ball in the race for it. Liam Quaid, or Leonard Enright and Liam Stokes. The ball cleared out by Leonard Enright. Out this side of the field, Nicholas English gets it, hops it on his stick, and right-handed gets it in. Only as far as Donald Barry, playing a Trojan game at cornerback. He clears it down to the middle here. Jerry Stapleton and Terry Kenny. Stapleton gets it out to Pat Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, right-handed, sets up an attack. The ball grabbed by Noel Leonard. It falls to the ground. He gets it to Pat Kramer. He lifts and strikes without catching. Jerry Stapleton catches the hopping ball, returns it with interest. Liam Stokes puts up his hand, grabs it, and left-handed strikes it and sends it over the bar. A point for Tipperary by Liam Stokes. 2:10 to 1:13. Or 1:13 to 2:9, I should say. 16 points to 15. Willie Horgan tells Tommy Quaid to put the ball out. Just over a minute into the first period of extra time as Tommy Quaid takes the puck out. Just down beyond midfield. Danny Fitzgerald pulls on the ball, and Frank Collins is hurley first before the ball arrives. I didn't think that there was a major indiscretion there, but Willie Horgan strict, as are several referees on this point of the game now. Theo English over a bundle of hurleys. Philip Kenny now sighted at left half forward to take the free. Wearing number 8, the Borrisalee lad strikes in a good free. Oh, well caught there by... And there's a goal. There's a goal for Tipperary. Scored by... I think it is... I can't see the number for the moment. It's Donie or is it Nicholas English? Nicholas English, who was quite enough. He scored that goal, and now Tipperary back in the fray. The ball with Pat Fox, and this Kit Hoagson sets up another attack. Liam Stokes and Leonard Enright. Across comes Nicholas English. Oh, a lovely ball in front of Liam Stokes. Tommy Quaid is alive to it. Comes out. He's challenged by Stokes. Shakes off the challenge. Left-handed gets the ball down here. 4 of them going for it. Flicked on by Paddy Kelly. Jerry Stapleton comes out all alone. Left-handed. Sends the ball back in. John McGrath and Peter O'Connor under it. It breaks to Peter O'Connor. His puck blocked down by John McGrath, trying to get it up in his hand. Gets inside Peter O'Connor, kicks the ball on a little bit, and then another bit, and Donald Barry doubles on it. Gets it out the far side. Missed by Brian Finn. The ball now with Donie O'Connell. Shakes off the attentions of Noel Leonard. Ships a tackle from Pat Kramer, from which Pat Kramer comes out the worst. He's down on the ground. The ball now with Peter O'Connor near his own end line. 2 tip men around him. He strikes a good relieving clearance the far side of the field or over the sideline. A line ball for Tipperary. 3.5 minutes into the first period of extra time. 2:13 to 2:9. 4-point lead for Tipperary now. Colin Bonner to take the sideline cut now. Meanwhile, they're in attending to Pat Kramer. Donie O'Connell shipped the tackle first of all from Noel Leonard, and then Pat Kramer, a full-blooded charge on Donie O'Connell, and Pat Kramer dropped like a lumber. They're calling, I think, once again for another stretcher. And how sad this is, but it's a tribute there to the full-bloodedness of the exchanges. There's no quarter given or asked here. And the unhappy sight once again of the stretcher being required. There's the members of the Order of Malta out with the stretcher. There's one coming in from each side, and the sub coming on the Limerick team. He's wearing number 21. Oh, it's David Punch, one of the Punch twins from Patrick's Well. And just in case you'd be inclined to get funny, the other half of the twin set up is not Judy. That's David. The other is also a boy. And now for the second time this afternoon, the sad sight of a player leaving on a stretcher. This time it's the Limerick left half-back, Paddy Kramer. Totally accidental, let me add. A rich round of applause from everybody here as Pat Kramer leaves the scene. He's replaced by David Punch, whose twin brother Dominic has also seen service in the green of Limerick. Meanwhile, play resumes now with a line ball by Colm Bonner. And even though there's 6 and nearly 7 minutes gone according to the stopwatch, 3 of them have been absorbed with the injury. The line ball taken by Colm Bonner. And the ball dropped in, well cut by Tommy Quaid there from Francis Collins. Quaid's clearance the far side of the field. Philip Kenny goes for it. And he's penalised for a foul on Pat Carey there, a free into Limerick. A foul by Philip Kenny on Pat Carey. And coming over to take the free, Denny Fitzgerald, the far side of the field. He's now partnered by Brian Finn in the middle of the field. A good free from Fitzgerald. Oh, it goes in there, and Shane Fitzgibbon got it on a little bit, scooped out by Tony Shepherd. Bobby Ryan back there, gathers the ball in a relieving clearance out into the middle. Philip Kenny goes for it. Donie O'Connell is down for it with Noel Leonard. O'Connell gets it. It's cleared in a bit there, and goes to Denny Fitzgerald. He strikes it high, but to the right and wide. A pass from Brian Finn there to Denny Fitzgerald. Goes to the right and wide. Meanwhile, the referee is in there telling the officials to move back from behind the goal. 2:13 to 2:9. Just 8 minutes into the first period of extra time, but let me stress again, there must be 3 minutes added, I would say, at the very minimum, for the delay in having Pat Kramer removed from the field. Tony Shepherd sends the ball right down the middle. Terence Kenny, grabs it well there, does Kenny. And the centre forward puts the ball in his stick and passes the ball in to Denny Fitzgerald, or to Shane Fitzgibbon. He's been attended by Bobby Ryan. He weaves his way through, but the ball cut out well there by Seamus Gibson. Gibson now with the ball. He's been harassed by Michael Quaid. He gets his clearance out a little bit. Out to Ger Stapleton, and Stapleton left-handed gets the ball crossfield. 2 tip men there. Philip Kenny takes it out of the path of Colm Bonner. In comes Denny Fitzgerald. He gets it there to Gary Kirby. He strikes it high and once again to the right and wide. And there are 2 chances gone now for Limerick. One by Denny Fitzgerald and that one by Gary Kirby. 2 of them wide. 2:13 to 2:9. Tony Shepherd once again with the puck. Fitness will count for an awful lot here now. Tony Shepherd strikes the ball well. Donie O'Connell and Noel Leonard, well blocked down by Noel Leonard to Terence Kenny. A gangling performer this, but very effective, and flicks the ball out well there to David Punch. Left-handed punch from Patrick Swell, gets it down here. Well cut out there by John Heffernan, having an excellent game since coming on as a sub in the second half of the original game. He gets the ball into Colm Bonner. He delivers it well to Nicholas English, into Liam Stokes. This might be another goal. Yes, there's another goal by Liam Stokes. And once again, Nicholas English was the architect. Liam Stokes delighted with himself there as he sent that ground ball into the net, giving Tommy Quaid little or no chance. And now Tipperary lead by 7 points. 3:13 to 2:9. A nice bit of play there. John Heffernan had no small part in it. He got the ball into Colm Bonner. He down to Nicholas English, and he to Liam Stokes into the back of the net. The ball in the middle of the field. Francis Collins gets it on a little bit. Brian Finn pulls on it with Pat Fox. The ball breaks to Donie O'Connell. In goes Pat Fox. Donald Barry near the sideline, out over it. A line ball for Tipperary now, and another replacement hurley needed, this time by Pat Fox. The number of hurleys that are broken in this game must nearly constitute a record. And Pat Fox now pushes Brian Finn out of his way as the line ball is taken by Pat Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald gets it in. Donald Barry misses it, but out comes Leonard Enright, left-handed down this side of the field. It comes to Danny Fitzgerald, and the elegant Cahan man sets up an attack, dropping the ball in between Gary Kirby and Conor O'Donovan. Well blocked out by Conor O'Donovan. Terence Kenny goes for it now with Jerry Stapleton. Stapleton is adjudged by referee Willie Horgan to have fouled Terence Kenny. A free into Limerick. They badly need a score of some description as Paddy Kelly comes across to take the free. I thought his excellent point from play in the dying moments of normal time was enough to give victory to Limerick. It wasn't. Now he looks goalwards, he strikes it now and he sends it over the bar. That's a point for Limerick. 3:13 to 2:10. 22 points to 16. 11 and a half minutes into the first period of extra time. And let me stress again that the referee must add anything up to 3 minutes for the injury earlier on. Now it's Tony Shepherd preparing to take the puck out. And a feature of the pucks out have been that most of them have been down the middle. This is the exception, the far side of the field. Colin Bonner beaten there by David Punch. Punch pursues the ball, gets it on a little bit into Shane Fitzgibbon. A full-blooded pull there by Bobby Ryan, and Colin Bonner now gets it in further. And a bit of steel coming back into the game as Leonard Enright bowls over Liam Stokes. The ball now with Nicholas English, and he sends it to the left and wide. It would have been a classic score had it gone over the bar. But Nicholas English, who one must say had a very, very quiet 50 minutes in the first 60-minute game, but by God did he explode into action and unfold his repertoire of skills in no uncertain manner. He was responsible for most of Tipperary scores. Francis Collins gets the ball, it comes off Noel Leonard to David Punch. Punch sends it in, and going for it now is Gary Kirby. Unorthodox, he flicks the ball across to Paddy Kelly. He strikes at a great save by Tony Shepherd. Gathers the ball and right-handed sends it up into the middle of the field between Philip Kenny and Liam O'Donoghue. Beautifully doubled on by Philip Kenny. Leonard Enright gets it over this side of the field into the crowd down here under me. A line ball for Tipperary. A lovely piece of play there. A good pass from Gary Kirby into Paddy Kelly. Maybe in July Kelly would have flashed it to the net. This time Tony Shepherd had it well covered, gathered it, cleared it out. Philip Kenny doubled on it well despite the attentions of Noel Samand and Liam O'Donoghue. And then Leonard Enright swept the ball out of the sideline. This side of the field, a line ball for Tip. Pat Fitzgerald, their right half back to take it. He cuts it a low one, getting it into Philip Kenny. He's beaten by Liam O'Donoghue. Terence Kenny gets it now, hand passes the ball out to the unmarked David Punch, playing well. He gets it down into the centre now, running into the Seamus Gibson, and his game has improved with every minute that has passed. He gets it out to Colin Bonner, who's been good all through. Ball very near the sideline there. There are three of them on the ground, and I'm sure the referee is going to throw this ball in. Pontius Pilate was the first to start this, and now referee Willie Horgan, yes, he's going to throw the ball in between two of them, between Bobby Ryan and David Punch. It beats both of them, and Colin Bonner gets it along the ground. Noel Leonard and Donie O'Connell having a rare old tussle. O'Connell kicks the ball on. John McGrath beaten there by Peter O'Connor. Noel Leonard then gets the ball down in front of the in-running Shane Fitzgibbon. He has two Limerick players running outside him, doesn't avail of either of them, and sends the ball left-handed over the bar. A point for Limerick scored by Shane Fitzgibbon, and he immediately drops to the ground as a result of a stroke by Jerry Stapleton. And now Shane Fitzgibbon is injured, and Jerry Stapleton is being sent off by referee Willie Horgan. He has given no indication he's writing in the book. Jerry Stapleton is furiously pleading his own case. Willie Horgan just censors him. He goes in to see Shane Fitzgibbon. A lot of booing from the Limerick section of the crowd. They feel that maybe Jerry Stapleton should have been dismissed. I didn't see what happened, but Shane Fitzgibbon put the ball over the bar, and as soon as he did so, he fell to the ground. The score, meanwhile, 3:13 for Tipperary, 2:11 for Limerick. That's in points totals, 22 points to 17. Meanwhile, Shane Fitzgibbon back on his feet. 15 minutes and a half gone at the first period of extra time. Tony Shepherd's puck out. Down this side, well blocked down by Danny Fitzgerald. On a very careless pull by Shane Fitzgibbon there across Pat Fitzgerald. And there's a free to Tipperary, and Pat Fitzgerald now is having his name taken, and I'm glad to report that Pat Kramer seems to be okay. He's giving his name to the referee. He's wearing number 7. Whether it's Pat Kramer or not, I don't know. It looks to be he, because he carries the hurley in his left hand. He has that style of hurling. The puck taken by Philip Kenny. The free. Danny Fitzgerald is leaving the field as Philip Kenny's free goes to the left and wide. Eamonn Cregan talking to Danny Fitzgerald. As Pat Kramer goes back into the fray, replacing, as I said, Danny Fitzgerald. Just over 16 minutes into the first period of extra time. Tommy Quaid's puck. A good one between Terence Kenny and Jerry Stapleton. Kenny pulls on it. The ball breaks once again to the ever-present Colin Bonner, but Kenny flicks it out very cleverly there to David Punch. He's penalised for carrying the ball too far. A good decision by the referee. He came right across the field there and ran more than the required number of steps with that ball in his hand. He hit the ground with sheer frustration. I think he acknowledged himself that he went too far with it. A free to Pat Fitzgerald. This fella has a prodigious delivery. He's well in his own half of the field, but I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, a good free. He drops it right in Donie O'Connell and Noel Leonard. It breaks there. And now goes to John McGrath. He's trying to get it up in his hand. Gets it up now. He's near the end line. No room to swing his stick, but gets the ball in now where Nicholas English gets it. And he's danger with a capital D as far as Limerick are concerned. The ball brought out over the end line at the expense of a 65. But when Nicky English goes near the ball, there's a bevy of Limerick players that converge on him like bees around honey. Meanwhile, there's yet another player injured. It's a 65 to Tipperary, and Philip Kenny is it to take it. Yes, Philip Kenny wearing the number 8. Meanwhile, Noel Leonard, the injured party, back on his feet. Philip Kenny, he's just to the right of the post. A 65 for Tipperary. He strikes it now, he strikes it well. That looks good. Yes, over the bar. That's a point for Tipperary, stretching their lead once again to 6 points, 3-14. A total of 23 to 2-11, 17 for Limerick. 3-14 to 2-11. Tommy Quaid, he's puck out. In the middle of the field, Shane Fitzgibbon goes through it with one hand and kicks the ball forward, intended for Carey. Carey runs onto it, he's beaten by Bobby Ryan, but in comes Terence Kenny, working like a beaver there and distributing the ball very well. He got that in there to Pat Kramer. Kramer got it down a little bit, but picked up by Jerry Stapleton. Clears it down where Liam O'Donoghue puts up his hand for it, and the referee calls the first period of extra time to a halt. Exactly 18 and a half minutes after it begun. So he allowed 3.5 minutes for the injury to Pat Kramer, and now he's insistent that the teams just switch around. They must be pretty tired now. I'm tired myself, not to mind them. The last act in this quarter-final. The referee sets the game in motion, tipped the first to break away. Noel Leonard breaks up the attack, and then Pat Kramer adds to the ball. Goes down there where Mick Quaid gets it in a little bit. Pucked out by Seamus Gibson, up into the middle. Donie O'Connell goes through, just 6 of them in there. David Punch is pulled out of the way, but comes back to Liam O'Donoghue. He gets it down, but it's doubled on by Bobby Ryan. Back to Liam O'Donoghue. One-handed, he pulls it into the middle. Francis Collins gets it in the middle of the field. There are 3 Limerick men around him. The ball is broken out the far side. Going for it now is Brian Finn. Right-handed, he sets up an attack near the sideline. Got out over it, a line ball for Tipperary. A line ball for Tipperary, and once again Pat Kramer in the wars. He picked up an injury to his leg there. Seamus Gibson's line ball, not a very good one. Oh, and Frank Collins penalised there for chopping down on Limerick man Carey, and he'll feel that in his fingers, I'd say. I nearly felt it up here myself. Yes, it's Carey, got that right down across the hand, down across the fingers. Referee awards a free to Limerick. Paddy Kelly, 2 yards in from the near sideline here, just on the 65-yard line. He sends it in, a dropping ball. Terence Kenny pulls on it. Blocked out by Jerry Stapleton. Going for a Shane Fitzgibbon. So too is Colin Bonner. And he must be the man of the match as far as Tipper concerned. He would be my choice anyway, but I charged with making the decision. The picked up by Jerry Stapleton. He sets up an attack now, and with the ball now, John McGrath, or Donie O'Connell, he's headed goalwards. John McGrath screaming for a pass. He opts to send it the other direction to Nicholas English. It goes off his stick, and Liam Stokes, and it's flicked out by Peter O'Connor. With it now is Pat Fox, left-handed. His puck partially brought down by Brian Finn. Leonard puts up his hand for the ball, falls out of it, and then pulled on furiously there and sent out over the end line and wide by Frank Collins. No room to decorate any of the work here. Just over 2 minutes gone in the second period of extra time. 3:14 to 2:11. Tommy Quaid spoke out. Far side of the field. David Punch rises for it. Oh, the ball breaks in there to Shane Fitzgibbon. He gets it into Terry Kenny. He drops it in. But putting up his hand for it is Gary Kirby. Coming out is Seamus Gibson. He kicks the ball out the far side of the field. He's been pursued by Paddy Kelly. Shakes off the attentions. And left-handed effects a good clearance up into the middle. 2 Limerick men there. But it's the tip man, Pat Fox, that gets it. Coming across to tidy up, Liam O'Donoghue. And he's fouled in transit. A free out to Limerick. A free to Limerick. A free to Limerick. Brian Finn, the striker, a good free, drops it right in. Blocked out by Conor O'Donovan. Going for it now, Pat Carey. I thought he was impeded there. The referee says play on. Bobby Ryan gets the ball along the ground, out as far as Pat Kramer. Left-handed. His attempted puck is blocked down by Jerry Stapleton. He kicks it on in front of him. Kramer is in there again, burrowing his way through there now. And he gets the ball, hand passes it out. Colin Bonner and David Punch. In comes Bobby Ryan. He gets it along the ground, blocked down by Brian Finn. Puts the ball on his stick, hand passes it into Paddy Kelly. He grabs it and strikes it, a high dropping ball over the bar. There's another point for Limerick, narrowing the gap yet again. 3:14 to 2:12. A good point that from Paddy Kelly. 3.5 minutes into the last period of extra time. 3:14 to 2:12. To take a wise man, even at this stage, to call the eventual opponents for Clare next Sunday. And the passages of good hurling that we've experienced here today, but a nod there for the semi-final next Sunday. The puck out from Tony Shepherd, far side of the field. David Punch going for it over there. He's joined now by Colin Bonner. There's another broken hurley as the ball goes out over the far sideline. And if ever there was a throw-in ball, that must be it. The referee has indicated that it's a Tipperary line ball. It must have gone off David Punch. I thought that would have... No, it's a free. It's a free. Meanwhile, coming on the field once again is Danny Fitzgerald. Danny Fitzgerald is coming on the field once again. There's a free to tip. Pat Fitzgerald comes down to take it. And Danny Fitzgerald comes on the field, and out goes Pat Kramer once again. He's nothing if not wholehearted. Pat Fitzgerald strikes the free. He sends it to the right and wide. And Pat Kramer leaves the scene. He now has a leg injury as well, so he's really in the wars today. Tommy Quaid's puck out between Pat Carey and Bobby Ryan. In comes Terence Kenny. Gets the ball to David Punch. He down to Pat Carey. Carey along the ground into Paddy Kelly, and Paddy Kelly spells as much danger on that side as Nicholas English does for tip. He gets the ball for Danny Fitzgerald, and he's not long in there, but there's a point from Danny Fitzgerald. A good pass there to Danny Fitzgerald. It started off with David Punch getting the ball to Pat Carey. He to Terence Kenny, or to Paddy Kelly, and Paddy Kelly into Danny Fitzgerald and over the bar, and the crowd rises to them once again. The gap is narrowed to 4 points. There are 5.5 minutes gone in the last period of extra time, and now we want to detail like a hurling ball. And as usual, when it rains it pours. When one comes in two, there's 3 now on the field. 3 hurling balls. They're raining in on Tony Shepherd. His team is 4 points in front, 3:14 to 2:13. Tony Shepherd steps well back now and comes forward now. Right-handed, he's going to try this side of the field. He sends the ball down, a good delivery. Liam O'Donoghue goes back for it. Gets it on a little bit. He's blocked down there by Frank Collins, but he regains possession. Gets the ball into David Punch. He lets the ball fall out of his hand, and you can't waste a second here. Cormac Bonner got it in. Noel Leonard got it out. Terry Kenny going for it now with Jerry Stapleton. Stapleton gets it to David Punch along the ground. Coming across for Paddy Kelly. Knocked off his hand, and there to pick it up is Seamus Gibson. Left-handed down this side of the field. Coming down for a John McGrath, very near the sideline. He keeps it in play somehow. He gets the ball to Paddy Kelly. He The crowd think from Limerick that it was gone over. So did John McGrath. His mind was taken off it there for a moment, and he sent the ball left and wide. 3-14, 23 points for Tip. 2-13, 19 for Limerick, 23-19. The crowd loving every second of this. Paddy Kelly along, Denny Fitzgerald along the ground into Paddy Kelly. Seamus Gibson gets the ball out a little bit as Bobby Ryan on possession, right-handed. He got the ball from John Heffernan, he sent it in there into the middle, the clash of the ash. Noel Leonard gets it out of it. Colin Bonner once again gets it right-handed over to the unmarked. And the ball very near the sideline. Liam Stokes juggling with it, gets it into the centre. Leonard Enright, full-blooded puck out to Philip Kenny. He's been joined now by Shane Fitzgibbon, shakes off the attentions. Pat Fitzgerald beats Terry Kenny, and he hasn't been beaten much all day. The ball now with Brian Finn, gets it up in his hand. That's a nice move by Finn. Right-handed, he sets up another attack. Coming down for it, Conor O'Donovan and Seamus Gibson. And Gibson gets it up in his hand, flicks it out to Bobby Ryan. They might be staying the trip that little bit better. Tipperary, full-blooded pull there by Frank Collins once again. Another man that doesn't believe in taking prisoners, a free out to Limerick. And my God, they'll have earned their steak and onions after this game, the two teams. They're like the walking wounded. Peter O'Connor, the latest in the leg injury department. Donie O'Connell having running repairs over there. Leonard Enright to take the free. Babs Keating running one side of the field. Tim Crow running in the other direction. Leonard Enright drops the ball in. Broken out by Jerry Stapleton. Bobby Ryan in possession now. Right-handed, he's penalised for holding onto the ball too long. And mind you, there was a decision, there was touch and go. There's not literally room to breathe down there when you get possession. And Paddy Kelly going to take the free. He's asking the referee how much time is left. There's plenty time, there's only 8.5 minutes gone. The referee is telling Bobby Ryan to step back. The goal is lined. The free is way out. Paddy Kelly strikes it over the bar. That's another point for Paddy Kelly and Limerick. 3-14 to 2-14. You couldn't have asked for it better if you wrote the script yesterday morning. The crowd swells again. Up goes the noise. It's a din here. If anybody had the slightest inkling that what was going to be served up would be of this quality, you wouldn't get a flea into Semple Stadium in Thurles today. The pity is that it's not paying to a full house. However, those that are here are very appreciative of what's on offer. The puck out from Tony Shepherd. Danny Fitzgerald gets it into the centre. Paddy Kelly beaten there by John Heffernan, gets it down to Colin Bonner. He puts the ball in his stick. And he's headed goalwards. He's a plucky man to have the ball, and he's hurled that long. He's tackled by Leonard Enright and beaten by Leonard Enright. He gets the ball out there where Danny Fitzgerald doubles in it along the ground. Bobby Ryan goes back for it. Carey comes out, or Gary Kirby comes out for it. A clash, and Bobby Ryan is stretched. Conor O'Donovan flicks the ball out very well there to Jerry Stapleton, another wholehearted player. Left-handed, he strikes it down this side of the field. Well blocked out by Peter O'Connor. Only as far as Colin Bonner. Oh, he picks up a tackle there from Peter O'Connor. I would have thought that it was accidental. I would like to think so. A high tackle across his face. A free to Tipperary. 3-14 to 2-14. Just over 10 minutes gone. Des Cahill was telling me in there that the RTE sports programme will be gone off the air. At the way this thing is going, maybe Nightlight will be gone off the air as well before they get the result. A big gallon tankard of water there been availed of by David Punch. And remember, he wasn't there in the initial 60 minutes. A free to Tipperary. They lead by a goal. 3-14 to 2-14. There's applause for everything here. Everybody is aware of the Herculean efforts of the players. Philip Kenny looks goalwards. He's dead straight in front of the goal. He strikes it, but there's a tail on it. Yes, it's gone to the right and wide. 3-14 to 2-14. What's going to happen if it ends in a draw? Coming up to the 11th minute, and Michael Corcoran is getting ready to enter the fray for Tipperary. He can't come in. The game is that fast. Colin Bonner gets it from the puck out along the ground. Liam O'Donoghue goes back for it. And Donie O'Connell is there. He gets it into Liam Stokes. He falls. The ball comes out to Liam O'Donoghue, trying to get it up in his hand. No room for that in there. It breaks to Donie O'Connell and passes the ball on to the on-running Pat Fox. Here's Liam Stokes outside him. Stokes loses his impetus. The ball comes into Pat Fox again. He gets it left-handed. He's puck blocked down by Peter O'Connor. He lifts it and right-handed strikes it out. We're running on for it now. Danny Fitzgerald puts the ball in his stick. Paddy Kelly is making space out in the far wing. And Danny Fitzgerald gets the ball down to Terence Kenny. Paddy Kelly now running infield. Terry Kenny out in the wing. He delivers the ball in. Oh, it breaks there. And there's a goal by Shane Fitzgibbon. In the back of the net by Shane Fitzgibbon. He does a little victory dance on his way out. And now, coming up to 12 minutes of the second period of extra time. 3:14 for Limerick. 3:14 for Tipperary. The tragedy is that today there has to be a loser. But on the good side, hurling is decidedly the winner. Tony Shepherd with a puck out. Up into the middle. Danny Fitzgerald is under it. He blocks it down to Terence Kenny. The ball breaks there to Paddy Kelly. He loses it. And then it goes off Paddy Kelly out over the sideline. A line ball for Tipperary. 12.5 minutes gone. The second period of extra time. This game will be talked about when more important ones are long forgotten. A line ball to Tipperary. Far side of the field. The line ball. Back there is Brian Finn. He has a fresh air, and there's very few of those today. The ball hand passed in. Leonard Enright jumps like Willie Anderson. Clears the ball out over the far sideline. A line ball for Tipperary. The pressure still on Limerick. Tip in a hurry to take the line ball. Nicholas English over the far side of the field now. A helmet been discarded. Oh, there's a great cut. Oh, a great cut, but it's just gone out over the end line and wide. A cheer of relief from Limerick. 13 minutes. Coming up to 13.5 minutes in the second period of extra time. 3:14 apiece. Tommy Quaid engages in the luxury of a short puck out. He spotted Paddy Kelly unmarked. A huge puck by Paddy Kelly. Dropping into the parallelogram. Blocked out by Conor O'Donovan. Turned in. Well turned in by Shane Fitzgibbon and equally well cleared out there. Oh, the tempo here. John Heffernan cleared that well from Shane Fitzgibbon. The ball out over the sideline, far side of the field. A line ball for Limerick. They're in around the house now. There isn't much time to get too many scores in this game. It looks as if it's Paddy Kelly, and he looks as if he's going to attempt to score a point from there. Oh, he cuts it, a great cut. Right in. And it's just gone out over the end line and wide. It could just as easily have been a goal. It went to the right and wide. Meanwhile, Willie Horgan spotted one of the forwards in before the ball. A free out to Tipperary. I make it 14 minutes, 20 seconds into the second period of extra time. There'll be 14.5 minutes gone when Tony Shepherd has this ball delivered. He does so now. A good free up into the middle. David Punch goes in under it. Noel Leonard. They block it down. Jerry Stapleton sends it back in. Pat Fox grabs it. Could this be the winner? He strikes it in. Yes! It goes up Tommy Quaid's hurling over the bar. The lead clanked by Pat Fox. And Semple Stadium is erupting. 3:15 to 3:14. The quick puck out, grabbed by Bobby Ryan. His puck blocked down by Pat Carey. He has no hurley. In comes Liam O'Donoghue. The referee going to throw in the ball. 15 minutes gone. Just 15 minutes, just gone over the 15 minutes. The crowd whistling. 3:15 to 3:14. The ball thrown in. John McGrath gets it. Peter O'Connor clears it out over the sideline. I'd say that's the end of that. There was no stoppages in the second period. 15 minutes and 20 seconds gone. And my God, look at the headache the GA would have had if this game ended in a draw. There was a period of time there that went weeks without any hurling. They can play 3 games in December. The referee scrutinises his watch. The line ball is taken and the game is over. And Tipperary have won this game by the minimum. 3:15 to 3:14. An encounter that was brimful of excitement. From beginning to end, it was productive of some sterling hurling. There were handshakes around, there were a few indiscretions, but overall the winner today was hurling. Tipperary go through to meet Clare in the semi-final, and we look forward eagerly to that encounter. I leave you from Semple Stadium in Thurles, and on behalf of Michael O'Sullivan and myself, we say farewell with the score: Tipperary 3:15, Limerick 3:14. And even though I had signed off we felt obliged to come back. Just listen to the applause for these players. Just listen. Words. It'll be a difficult assignment. Don't blame me if I fail. I'll do my best. Well, now with me, a very happy and relieved Michael Babs Keating. A great performance.
A great performance. I just felt that we would take Limerick. We played them in a challenge, but a challenge was no indication of the real spirit. That was championship hurling at its best today. And I've always said it, that Limerick, more than any other team in the country, were the cause of putting Tipperary away in the early 70s. And the performances of 71 and 73, I think, were equal and matched out there today.
Well, while there were some Herculean performances today, notably from fellas like Colm Bonner, I thought that the substitutes that you introduced, particularly John Heffernan and Pat Fox, John McGrath, they played no mean part.
That's quite true. You see, with Barsley winning the All-Ireland Club a few weeks back, the confidence that it has given to Tipperary hurling, and lads want to play, the atmosphere is right, and like, it is a question of having about 30 players who are equal, and as you rightly said, the subs that we've introduced haven't been in consideration, I suppose, up to now. I'm sure it was John Heffernan's first league game, apart from playing against Mayo. We brought Pat Fox back, but Pat Fox is no newcomer to hurling. Pat is an experienced campaigner. We brought him in for a trial, and we let it known months ago that we were quite prepared to pick anybody, provided they were interested enough. And we have got the response from the players within the county that we required.
And where the name is concerned, Pat Fox didn't let the thing down in the score of cuteness?
No, but you're, as I said, he's a seasoned campaigner, and he's around. He's been over the road a few times before.
The injury to Richard Stakelum, is it serious?
I think the injury to Richard is something like I received myself the last hurling game I played against Clare. He might have a damaged cheekbone, but
he'll be okay for next Sunday, will he?
Maybe not. Maybe not. It's a very sore place.
Well, he's a very fine player, and he'd be an enormous loss to hurling, not to mind to Tipperary. And finally, Babs, if the horse has the same stamina as the team, could we maybe be looking forward to the Ledger?
Well, maybe not a Ledger, because Christy Roach promised us that he was a true 2-year-old. Maybe something like the Park 1500.
Yeah, well, no doubt you'll make me privy to anything that's fancied in the future.
So long as you bought a ticket, you're all in.
OK, thanks very much, Babs, and the best of luck. It's 6:15, and I'm very grateful to Eamonn Cregan to come out here. It's not an easy trip to make when you're at the end of a point defeat, but you're not too dejected, I'd say.
I'm disappointed for the team. You know, they were at one stage in the second half of extra time that I think they were 6 points down, and they came back and they drew level, and they showed tremendous heart there in the second half of extra time and all during the first game. But for the team, I'm very disappointed. But this is what, the 19th of April?
No, the 12th.
The 12th, is it? I've lost time.
You were afraid it cleared. They must have been on your mind. They played the 19th.
Yeah. Well, it's the 12th of April. The ground is soft. And I'm not making that an excuse. It's good for the goose, it's for the gander. But we have always geared our training towards the 24th of May against Waterford. And today was a great help to us. We learnt a lot, even in defeat. Well,
I mentioned about the ground that yourself and Tim Crowe weren't too optimistic before the game. But you have a few players to come on, Eamon, haven't you? Like Ger Hegarty and Pat McCarthy.
We have, like, Ger Hegarty injured himself in training on Monday night with the under-21s, and he would have been one of our replacements, and unfortunately he had to cry off. Pat McCarthy has started training with us. Now, we hope he'll be ready for the Waterford match. We'll just keep our fingers crossed for that.
Well, the kind of hurling that it was, Ger Hegarty would have been in his element.
I would hope he would have been in his element. You know, the game was very fast there today, even though the ground was soft, and I thought it was a very physical game.
And there was great ground hurling in it, wasn't there?
Tremendous ground hurling, yeah.
You know, and I walked the pitch there before the game, and I said to myself, there'll be no ground hurling.
Well, this is it, but like, I believe last week that place was in a quagmire, you know, and it has recovered well. I think the 2 days of dryness that came along was marvellous, and I think we were fortunate that it did dry out. Otherwise, it would have been very dangerous there today.
Isn't hurling in a very healthy state in Munster when you consider that ostensibly the 5 hurling counties were in the 6 remaining teams in the league? Added to Galway, they were made up to 6.
One would get that impression, but like, I wouldn't worry too much about the fact that there were five Munster teams in the last 6 places. The championship is a different ball game altogether, and Kilkenny and I'd say Kilkenny will come out of Leinster.
But that was real championship stuff today, man.
Oh yes, all Limerick matches and Tipperary matches, or Tipper and Cork, or Limerick and Cork, Tipper and Cork, they're all championship matches because there's such a tremendous rivalry between the two. And like next Sunday between Tipperary and Clare, there'll be tremendous rivalry there as well.
Well, if you were asked to call the winner of that, who would you forecast?
Well, you see, Tipperary played an extra half hour there today. Now they are feeling stiff and sore and very tired, and if they recover sufficiently for next Sunday, they have a great chance. But if they don't, Clare will beat them.
Richard Stakelum would be a big loss to them if he weren't available.
It would be a big loss. I don't know what happened to him, but he was a loss to them when he went off injured. All right.
Yeah, well, the future looks rosy for hurling. I said earlier that hurling was the real victor today. Would you agree?
I agree, and I think the type of hurling there today was the real victor. That was I won't say the old style hurling, but it was a combination of the new style and the old style, and that showed, as people saw today, it was a tremendous game.
Well, finally, you lead me into a tribute that I very rarely pay. I thought the referee did very well, all considered, over the hour and a half.
We have no cribs with the referee. He had a difficult job. He did it well. And okay, we were a little bit worried when Jimmy Carroll was sent off, but we don't think that the injury that the player got was intentional. It was that Jimmy jumped in to get the ball and the player moved.
Yeah, well, the referee told me that it wasn't intentional.
Well, it wasn't. No, like I don't think any player would deliberately stamp on another player. You know.
Well, Eamon, thanks very much for coming out. As I say, being at the wrong side of a point decision, it doesn't have a fella in the best humour possible. And with yourself and Babs, the respective teams couldn't be in better hands.
Thank you very much.
And thank you.